Hello and welcome to Unplayably Overpowered, the show where we just use Urza's AI to make the stupid broken cards if we can. Today, we are going to be doing our long-awaited tier list of 100 cards. Now, the tiers bottom out at, this is just an actual card. There's nothing lower than that because anything worse than that, that's just not on our short list. We're not bothering with those cards.
Okay.
Urza's AI can make weaker cards. Some cards are actively bad. Some cards are just really inefficient. And other cards just don't function at all. But honestly, Urza's AI is pretty consistently decently powered to high powered. And these are the high powered to overpowered cards that we have.
Heck yeah.
Today, B is joining me. Hello, B. Welcome.
Hi.
And we're going to be discussing some cards, moving them around, and such. I know this layout is a bit weird. I thought about using actual tier maker at one point, and the cards are completely illegible because of the way that's set up. So instead, I'm just using an actual, Explorer window, and I'm going to move cards around the actual files. But we will be able to view them in the side preview pane, so that should be good. To go through them real quickly, we have A, Unplayably Overpowered. We're not going up to S rank because then alphabetically it would be last, and that's not what we want, and I just don't want to deal with that. Then B, best card in your deck. C, strong for AI magic. D, strong for regular magic. And F, just an actual card. Is there anything you think I'm missing, B?
No. Yeah. I think everything's legit.
All right. Well, with that, let's look at our first card. Our first card is Gorespawn Pit Patrol, a 4-mana 3/2 red demon. When Gorespawn Pit Patrol enters the battlefield, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste until end of turn. So this card's, I think, really cool because it reminds me of all those, pull a thing out of your graveyard, it gains haste, and then sacrifice it, but it doesn't have that last line of text, right?
Yeah, which is, I think, actually, I feel like in, any standard, I don't know if, any modern, but, any standard, this would probably be, a staple.
So the question I want to ask you, right, is this strong for regular magic or too strong for regular magic?
I think the fact that it's in red and not black, I feel like off color this adds to the strength of a card,
Okay. It is 2 red pips if that affects your thought. I'm not sure. For 4 mana, getting a 3/2, if I just analyze this in a vacuum, if I ignore the idea that this is being ranked against real magic cards, if I made this card, I would go, oh, that's really good, I'll put that in my deck. And then I might lose before I ever play it. Or I don't have anything in my graveyard when I play it or whatever, right? And so it's very reliant.
It's from graveyard. It's not from your graveyard.
That's true. It is from a graveyard. That is a benefit. I hadn't thought about that.
I feel like any kind of red-black control would really like this. Or heck, that's the thing about off colors. It doesn't even, you don't even need black in there. Any kind of I don't know, Jeskai control with this would be
So
yeah.
I think we're agreed this card is strong, which makes sense. All these cards are decently strong. But is it too strong for regular magic? Or could you see this card be printed?
What do we do if we couldn't see this card be printed for other reasons?
Ooh, that's interesting. What do you mean?
So I feel like they would never just let you give red just straight up get back a creature forever without needing black in there somehow.
You think because it's a color pie break? I do think we kind of need to ignore the color pie a little bit. I realize that you're right. That has value, right? That does matter to a card as far as its power level. I guess it's not would they ever print this. It's if this card existed, would it be more powerful than other cards that also exist, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think you safely put in C. I don't know if it's B, but it's probably C.
Okay, you think it's stronger than just strong for a regular magic, and like the most
Yeah.
broken card, like there are real magic cards that I think maybe should be higher than D in this tier list. Honestly, like
Yeah.
strong for regular magic is kind of a vague term. So yeah, let's put it in C. Strong for AI magic, but not the best card in your deck.
Yeah.
Our next card is Toxic Deluge. Is that a real card?
I think it was black. Just to be clear, I think black would put it into D. But if it was just a regular black card.
Interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah.
For our second card, we have Toxic Deluge, a 2-mana 1/1 black orc rogue. When Toxic Deluge enters the battlefield, destroy target creature. So,
oh boy, that's a B right there. Maybe even no,
so?
It's not an A, but like no, I think it's a B.
So, as someone who's done a lot of forging AI magic, I don't think this is a B. B being best card in your deck. This is a 2-mana sorcery speed kill spell that also gives you a 1/1, right?
Does it? 2-mana sorcery speed. I mean, like the thing is, like, I don't know. Maybe we're exaggerating. I just think like Chupacabra, very good. Getting a -1 and -2 mana. That's like absurd. I feel like
you do make an interesting point.
If you're a control deck, you would love to like both. That's like you want to make a blocker and you want to destroy things. If you do both one card, that is like just kind of nuts.
Yeah, I guess something that is worth considering.
Exaggeration, but like I think like you want like I don't know. I think like it's not yeah, it doesn't win you the game, but it's a very good like utility card. It's very good like it like 4 of these will make your deck go real well.
True. Which means I think it's stronger than regular magic.
Play it.
But I don't know if it's too strong for AI magic is the thing, right? Like that's sort of where I'm
I mean it's definitely strong for AI magic. Maybe not too strong for AI magic.
Yeah.
I think you should at least get a C.
I want to throw something out here. Which is if this card, something I hadn't considered, is the fact that it's a creature is super relevant. If this was a sorcery speed, if this was a sorcery, which said 2 mana.
Oh yeah, ETB, yeah. Blink is so good.
Right, let me finish my point. But yes, you already jumped to the conclusion. If this was a sorcery speed, if this was Toxic Deluge is a sorcery that says destroy target creature, create a 1/1 orc rogue token, that is a worse spell in a lot of situations. Not every situation, but a lot of situations. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say so.
The fact that it's attached to a creature means you can recur it more easily.
It comes back to White Resurrection, which is like
right. Yes, totally. Right. White has a ton of resurrection effects that hit things that are small, so that's actually fine. You're not overpaying to resurrect or anything. And then of course any other form of blink. So I think that's a big point. I think that's a legitimate distinction that the creatureness of this does elevate it.
Yeah.
Does it elevate it out of C and into B?
I think so. I think like I don't know if we want B to just be like cards just like win you the game on the spot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, A is things that just win you the game on the spot. They are so unplayably overpowered. The game just ends, and who cares?
Yeah.
The game just ends, and it doesn't like. What was even the point of playing if you just have a win the game card?
Right? And the thing that I can think of a lot of situations where like if I could pick anything to draw off the top of my deck, I would pick this if I had it in my deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
B. Yeah.
I'm so hesitant.
The thing I'll mention for B is like, how many situations can you imagine where like I'm top decking and like I wish this was the top card of my deck. And I could draw one card. Right.
That's a good point. I just keep coming back to the idea that this could be instant speed. And it's not. Now, I don't expect this to be printed exactly as it is, but with Flash, I don't expect that. So, again, it comes down to that creatureness.
Yeah, I mean, again, like that, like, I mean, I don't know.
If this was an instant, which had the same text.
It would be approaching A territory. It wouldn't be in A territory. If it was Flash, it would be approaching A territory. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. A-Tord, my mention for A-Tord territory is like, would I just like flip the table if you played this against me in like a match? Like we can't do this.
It's like, what are you even
But
doing?
like I do, but yeah, and this wouldn't do that with Flash, but I feel like
I mean, you could always imagine a more broken card, right? This could be a 2-mana 5/5 with the exact same text. So
yeah.
I don't think that's a fair comparison. I think this is still reasonable to put into a B. Strong for AI Magic? Yeah, it is strong for AI Magic. It is stronger than I generally expect from AI Magic.
Yeah, and I think like Flash is like not that insane of an upside. Like, don't get me wrong, like instant speed versus sorcery it can make a big difference, but like for like an effect that you like probably want to do anyway, on your turn, like
honestly, I'm kind of coming back to C. Right, it's strong for AI Magic, which is significantly stronger than real magic.
I guess, yeah, that's true. I guess like we gotta say like. So when you say strong for AI Magic,
yeah,
do you mean like too strong for AI Magic, or like a really good card in AI Magic?
Well, I don't think too strong really like equates to anything. Like strong for regular Magic means a card that you could see in AI Magic, or a power level that you could see in in regular real Magic. Sorry, I misspoke. And it's not too strong. And then strong for AI Magic, on the other hand, means better than the sort of things you're expecting from AI Magic, but it's still like a card you would be willing to play and stuff, right? Because like nothing is too strong for AI Magic in that like the AI can do whatever it wants, right? It can make you a 2-mana 8/8 with trample if it wants to, right? Like it can do that.
Yeah. I think you need 2-mana 10 for trample. I
could.
I think it's still like I don't know, it's hard because I feel like maybe as time goes on, we'll like look at this and the B cards and feel like this doesn't fit in here.
Yeah, we can review them at the end and see if anything needs to move.
Yeah, but I think for now, I would like to put them in B because
all right.
I feel like
let's move them to B. Let's move on. We need to probably pick up the pace a bit.
Yeah, totally.
But we're establishing where these like ranges are, so that's important to.
Oh, I love this kind of effect, even though it's like probably busted.
B, have you read the card before I've read it out loud?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kralin Horde Bodyguard is a 2-mana 2/1 red human rogue with flash. As long as Kralin Horde Bodyguard is in your graveyard, creatures you control have death touch. Ooh, interesting. So it's like a wonder or a hatred or whatever that card's called. What's the one I'm talking? It's a hatred? Hate? What am I talking about? The one that gives everything haste.
Like the Eidolon. Are they Eidolons? Like,
they are incarnations.
Incarnations, yeah.
So in real Magic, we've got while this card's in your graveyard. I think it's called Anger. Yeah, Anger, not Hatred.
Yeah.
All of your creatures have haste. On Wonder, while this is in your graveyard, all of your creatures have flying, and they're super busted. Holy crap! I can't believe those cards exist. Where would I put those cards? I don't know, honestly. Probably strong for AI Magic is probably where I'd put those cards. Those cards are nuts, and they're real.
Yeah.
So Kralin Horde Bodyguard, I don't know. Your entire board having Death Touch is less scary to me than Haste or Flying.
That's true, but it's very annoying.
It would suck. What's interesting is that Kralin Horde Bodyguard, what I like about it, is that it has a way of getting into the graveyard, which is your opponent attacks and you flash it in and block something and it dies.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Especially you block a first striker with it, like because then like your other stuff will have Death Touch by the time it gets to the graveyard. That's really funny. I like that a lot. Yeah.
But like I think that's actually something that elevates this above other incarnation effects we've seen. Because it's not a lot of times it's kind of hard to get them in your graveyard. You have to have a discard effect or a mill effect, or just hard cast them for like 4 and then like sacrifice them later, right? Like kind of difficult to get them into your graveyard. This is super easy, and it's giving you a benefit. It's not just like 0 mana, discard this card from your hand, right? It actually is helping you and moving itself to the graveyard.
Yeah, I feel like I am. It's probably that's okay. So here's like the deal.
Sure.
It's probably not want to say C, but that is because I would love if I rolled this. I would love to play it against you, and I would probably justify it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a bit too good. I also love to see it printed, but honestly, it's a little bit too good for that. It actually deserves a B. You know, like my bias wants it to be lower so that it could be played.
I mean, here's the thing, right? A is unplayably overpowered. Anything in B or lower, if we actually play Magic, like, I'm expecting that to be the kind of thing we're okay playing against each other. They're strong, but they're not too strong for actually, like...
Okay, so here's the thing. I feel like I would also be a little bit annoyed if your entire deck was B cards, even if you... I feel like A cards would be like would make me like kind of like feel demoralized if that was like the best, if that was just like the best card in your deck. Where like if your entire deck was also B cards, I feel like, dang, I don't know how to.
Yeah, but your entire deck's not going to be all.
Normally, it's not going to happen when you're doing AI constructed.
Yeah, like you're not going to have all B cards. That's fine.
Yeah, that's true. And so I feel like. So yeah, I think like the thing is like if your entire deck was as quality as this card, but different cards.
Yeah.
I think that would be like that's like kind of a good metric for like it deserves in the B tier. If like I would be like demoralized if your entire deck was this quality, then I think it deserves to go in B. So I'm gonna say it's a B card.
Interesting. I think it's a C. I think it's just like if I had 10 of these in the deck, who even cares?
You're right.
I mean, Flash is good. Flash is just already a good effect.
It is just Death Touch. Like Death Touch is like kind of in the lower. We want to do like a tier list of like keywords.
Of keywords, that would be fun, actually. Yeah.
But Death Touch is like a kind of a lower tier keyword.
I think it's easy to undervalue.
Incarnation.
I think it's easy to undervalue. Actually, do you have any takes on Color Pie? Because I don't, right? That's something.
It should be black if there was like a cycle of these, like
or
also
green.
Like green. I think I guess like green also does flash stuff, so it's like with creatures, so it's like
does it? Oh.
Kind of makes sense with like not just like because it's like a thing that's been had more often lately. I think to counter like to like make green more of an enemy to blue.
Okay.
Whereas like this is
like ambushing Viper or whatever. Jump out.
Exactly, or even like other effects like you play creatures at instant speed. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also like if you can print that, you can also give creatures flash. I feel like.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, hello. We have first time chat.
Hello, OkuPant880. I don't need to say your whole name. Sorry. Just came. How much did I miss? We're on like the third card. We're very slow at this.
yeah. We probably. I think there will be kind of a thing like the later cards will kind of get more of a short shrift, unfortunately, because we are
once we've got our like
the long shrift.
Well, once we figured out like what everything kind of fits in the power level, we can be like, oh, that's the same power level as that card we saw earlier, so it goes into C rank or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, if you this card here, I think maybe the color pipe break. You could argue that even the color pipe, if I would put in C, the color pipe break would.
So you're thinking the color pipe break actually might move it up to B?
I think so, yeah.
I'm willing to put it into B, but I think it's a C card.
I think if I'm honest myself, it's a C card. Yeah.
All right, let's put it in C. Let's move on. Next card is Hand of Replication, a 2-mana green instant counter target spell. You may pay 1 and exile a non-land card from your hand rather than pay this spell's mana cost. So you get to save 1 mana.
I mean, generally I'd rather just play the green mana, honestly.
And then return target permanent to its owner's hand.
Oh boy, no, that is like stupid.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's in the list.
I don't think I can justify this being an A, but it's definitely a B.
I think it's a B, right? I mean, It's a universal counter, right? It's not like you glance at the text box. You glance at the text box and you think it says counter target spell unless its controller pays 1, right? That's what your brain assumes that text box says when you glance at it.
It's like that thing where like you see like.
Yeah.
You see a thing that's less scary version of what it is because your brain can't comprehend the scariness of it.
Well, I don't think it's that. I just think it's like you're so used to seeing counter target spell, and then there's that 1 cost, and you're like, oh, that's unless it pays 1. That's not that strong. No, it's a straight up counter, no restriction, and you may instead exile a card from your hand and pay only 1 instead. I don't know how often you're gonna save the 1 mana by doing that. Kind of an interesting idea, actually. You know how like Phyrexian mana is considered super busted because like discounts for the cost of life are really, really strong? If you had Phyrexian mana, but instead it was like this mana could be spent by discarding a card or 1 mana.
Yeah, or maybe even like exiling like a land or a card in your graveyard or something like that. Like
sure, I'd be interested in how that compares to Phyrexian mana as far as the bustedness scale.
Yeah, like
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, this card's the best card in your deck. If you're in green, you're gonna run this card every time. There's no way they'd ever print it. And it's like scary. Like in AI Magic, I'm on the edge of like, ooh.
It's like always a 2 for 1. Like that is like like it's rare when a card like normally a card is always a 2 for 1 is not 2 mana, optionally 1 mana.
Yeah. I mean, if it's optionally 1 mana, it's not 2 for 1 anymore, kind of, because you get lost a card. But yeah, you're right. I think we'll just put this straight into best card. I have not been reading flavor text. From duplicate sages to different fractures, duplicates can do wonders.
They can.
Yeah.
I should say, like, like ideally, like 1 mana, like you'd rather pay. Most of the time, if you had the option, you would rather pay the 1 extra mana.
I think so too.
But yeah, if you get surprised, even if like you don't expect your opponent to play a good thing, having that option is like really good.
If you like made up this like if you like printed like a series of cards, like a set of cards where this was the set mechanic of like there's not Phyrexian mana, it's like some other discard mana. I think you'd often be paying the full price and not the discard effect, which I think is actually really discard exile. You couldn't do it as discard. I don't think. I think discard ends up being a benefit instead of a drawback in a lot of situations, like madness. Which I think is actually really, really interesting because Phyrexian you almost always pay the life, so that could be kind of a cool real card mechanic. Anyway, move this over here. Move on to the next card, Cloud Shift, a 2 mana blue instant. Counter target spell. You gain 1 life for each card in your hand.
Okay, I mean, better counter spells, better counter spell. So I think like it can't be lower than the sea.
Okay. Yeah. So counter spell is a 2 mana instant counter target spell. That's what that is. It's like blue though, right? Is that right?
Yeah, blue,
okay.
yeah.
And they just don't print that anymore. That is too good, right?
It has been put into modern. They have put into modern, but like not Pioneer, and yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And often like and also like Commander, like people will play like Mandarin, which is better counter spell than Commander.
I would say knowing the AI. I would say knowing the AI, there are a lot of 2 mana counter spells that the AI will come up with. So this is just strong for AI Magic. I don't think it's the best card. I think you can get better counter spells.
Yeah, I think I say that you're very like like in any format, Tails all the time, aggro versus control. Mm-hmm. This is a very good anti-aggro card.
The fact that it has life gain is very good.
Matchup, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it has life gain is a benefit in that specific like matchup. So I think that's pretty cool. And oftentimes you will have like a large hand because it's blue, right?
Yeah, especially since the cheap counter spells you can play it early. Mm-hmm. I'll say C.
I think it's a C though, yeah, because it doesn't break the color pie.
It approaches B, but like and just be clear, since we're like not doing S rank, C is like a very, very good.
Yes, yes, that's true.
It's like something that kind of is throwing me is like normally in like these kind of tier list, C is like average, whereas we've explicitly said that this is above average.
The floor is a real normal Magic card, and then D is
if you failed
a very powerful Magic card. Yeah.
Wait. I guess like E rank just is kind of ugly.
It goes A, B, C, D. F. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
just like
So
it's funny
E
how
rank.
it's funny how like that happened for like we've exercised E rank from our collective
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Because we would F stands for something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting C.
Yeah.
Great. Next card is Deep Sea Cyclops. I forgot to read the flavor text again. It was asked on a previous video that I should read all the flavor texts and choose like a best flavor text as well, which sounds like probably won't end up happening, unfortunately. Maybe in each maybe at the end we'll look at our like A or our B tier ones and do it just for that or something. Deep Sea Cyclops is a 2-mana 2/2 red Cyclops. Deep Sea Cyclops gets +1/+1 as long as you control a mountain. Tap to add red. So it's a 2-mana 3/3 that taps to add red. How good is that?
Oh, I think that's strong for regular Magic.
Yeah? I don't know what the I feel like mana dorks go for a different thing in each color, right? Like in green, you can get yourself a mystic, an elvish mystic or a land of war elves. Great.
Yeah, like 2-mana mana dorks tend to be pretty mediocre. Like you play them in standard if there's no 1-mana mana dorks, but like you're not happy about it generally. Whereas, but the fact that it's red and like red, like is like a beneficiary of like big mana, even if it doesn't like get it often.
That's an interesting point. I think there's also something about this is if this didn't have the mana dork ability. If this is just a 2-mana 3/3, how good is that?
It's pretty nice. It'd probably be played in most drafts.
Yeah, I think it would be good in draft.
Like first pick it in like a draft, yeah.
That's a good point. It probably wouldn't make it into constructed just as that.
Yeah.
Interesting. So are we thinking D?
I mean, it's very hard for a vanilla creature. Like you can have a 5-mana 10/10. That still is like kind of hard to justify constructed. It was just vanilla.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. But we're thinking D tier, strong for regular Magic, but not super busted.
Yeah.
All right, I'm happy with that. They had seen my tiny size, my ignorance, and my deafness. They were ready to kill, but then they saw my hands.
And they saw my hands could tap for mana.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hapless Devil is a 3-mana red 2/1 devil. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Hapless Devil. Whenever you sacrifice a creature, create a 1/1 red devil creature token with flying. So, at bare minimum,
this seems strong for regular Magic. I say this is a D.
It's a cool card. I could see this printed in real Magic. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'd be really good in real Magic. Like, you know, like I'm thinking of like 3-mana Rakdos. Deal damage whenever you sacrifice something. This is like way better than that.
That's the scary thing about this, though, right? Is this is a combo piece. If you put this in a combo deck, it is one of your combo pieces.
That actually is a good point because you can like sacrifice. You can infinite death triggers if you have a sack outlet. Yeah.
Right. So if we put it in a combo deck, it's probably best card in the deck because it's literally one of the like 3 combo pieces you need to win the game. But if we don't put it in a combo deck, it's probably just a D. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. I think I sound like a broken record. I am changing my mind to B because of that, actually.
Yeah, you think the combo potential is enough to put it in B?
And a sack outlet. It's not hard to get a sack outlet.
Well, any sack outlet, it just makes infinite 1/1s. Does not win the game on the spot. They don't have haste.
It doesn't get infinitely large. Yeah. You're right. Okay, so you also need like something that benefits from death triggers or ETB triggers. I guess in that case you put in C because I feel like this is not a hard combo to set up with like any kind of card pool that's like large. Yeah. I am thinking that maybe my ranks aren't super great, and like the more we're doing it, the more I'm like, I don't know if these ranks are actually well named because, I think this is like if this card existed in real Magic, I know all the supporting pieces that would actually make that deck go ridiculous. So it would be broken in regular Magic,
But it's probably actually just kind of mediocre in AI Magic if we assume you don't have any real cards to back it up. And you have to just, like, generate the support pieces. Do you know what I mean? Isn't that weird?
I don't think it'd be hard to roll the support pieces.
That's probably true. Well,
yeah.
I'm going to throw this into Strong for AI Magic. It skips the whole joy of stealing children.
The whole joy?
Yeah, it's gone. Radiant Sojourner is a 3-mana 1/1 red elf. For a single red, if a single green. Did I say red? It's a green elf. What am I talking about? Radiant Sojourner is a 3-mana 1/1 green elf. For green, man. I feel like saying 4 green sounds like I'm saying 5 mana, and that's not what I mean. Green, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Simple effect. How do you feel about it?
I think one is actually pretty dang efficient. I think it is like strong for Magic.
I think it's strong for regular Magic as well, right? Like, I don't expect that this is just a regular card.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised to see that. Especially because of the color pie, but also just like 1/1 buff.
Pop in general isn't that great, and like
yeah. The fact that it doesn't hit itself is really cool, right? You can throw this down, and then you can buff your like thing that has lifelink or trample or whatever, right? I think that's really fun. I think it's going to be strong. I think you would put in a lot of decks. I don't think it's the most broken thing, though. It's just a nice, strong card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When the dead arose, it was in joy that they first discovered their form. I suspect it is a sensation similar to the one you experience when you gaze upon the elves, Ulrich of Yvetot. Ram Thresher is a 2-mana star 2 red goblin artificer. Ram Thresher's power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. How good does that affect?
I think that's like kind of just a regular card, even though like it is a bit of a color pie break because red doesn't normally care that like artifacts that much. It does like artifacts sometimes, but more likes to smash them.
I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. You in like a affinity deck, this could be kind of nice, but like I don't know, in an affinity deck, you're playing like 0 mana 4/4s and like yeah.
I think you're right. I think this is an F. It's cool. It's decent. I honestly just don't know how powerful this kind of effect is, and I was largely curious about your opinion on it because I'm not sure.
I think this is our first F. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it probably wouldn't play this for other reasons of like just like it is a bit like weird color peppering, but I don't know. Maybe even in the right setting, they might do it. Maybe it's like you're in.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, every color has affinity.
In a Mirrodin, yeah.
Right, like every color has affinity. I think. Because of Mirrodin, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think so. There's like at least one card. There's like a cycle of them.
Yeah, like if this is like an equipment world, for example.
Equipment, yeah.
Totally. It is like sword world where everyone loves their swords.
Mm-hmm.
Then probably this would be like a thing.
I feel like a lot of red cares about. I mean, you're right. It's either like.
There's a right now. There's a red card that has affinity for equipment, which is basically a very specialized affinity for artifacts. Yeah.
Yeah. If this just said equipment you control, I think this card would suck. This card would be absolute garbage.
I don't know. I think it'd be super cool. Actually, like I would even go as far as like I would play this with 2 mana. Affinity, 2 mana power equal to equipment that's not attached to it, or something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, this is just better than that.
Yeah, but I say even that I would play.
Right, but are you saying that it's strong?
I think it's like not strong for. I think both of those would. I think both of those would not be able to break D tier.
Yeah.
I think like when we say strong, I think we say for regular Magic, I think strong isn't like they probably wouldn't. It would be very rare. It would be pretty pushed for regular Magic, and I don't think this is like pushed by any means.
Right. I just think it's interesting that you're like, I would play this one card, and this is a better card than that. Right.
Yeah.
I think it's still just an actual card. I don't know if this is literally just an actual card, but.
What's the flavor text?
You shouldn't ask me to choose between my truck and my trebuchet. Chuck, grumpy engineer. Oh, I want to know about Chuck. They're like a goblin artificer.
Yeah.
Nice. They're a ram thresher.
He makes trucks and trebuchets, and he will not give up one. They're both equally important to him.
That's great. Hidden Terrain is a 2-mana blue instant. Draw 3 cards. Then, reveal the top 3 cards of your library. If a land card was revealed this way, you may put it onto the battlefield. Now, it does have weird reminder text of do this before the spell resolves, but I'm going to ignore that part.
Yeah. Well, for a rating, sorry, I actually bumped some stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to say that properties don't exist.
I mean, I don't know. Generally speaking, I don't think there's any cards in here where there's a debate about how the reminder text works. But this one, meh. Like, it doesn't really affect the card, even if it did.
Well, I mean, it'd be weird. It'd be like, is this a non-cast trigger? Like,
yeah, whatever. Let's ignore that. Who cares? So, 2 mana, draw 3. That alone in a vacuum. How good is that?
That was real good. I think that put us all in D tier.
That itself would be strong for regular. Do you think they'd print that in Real Magic? Just 2 mana, draw 3?
I mean, divination is like kind of like the standard for like card draw. That's 3 mana, draw 2. Not the standard. Like no one plays divination. They'll be just to be clear, but like they probably don't want to. They probably aren't going to just like straight up like obsolete divination because like strong card draw is real strong. And
what's divination do?
3 mana, draw 2 in blue.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's already 2 mana, draw 2 effects, right? They usually have an extra cost, like sack a creature or an artifact or something, but those exist, right?
Yeah, indeed, yes.
This is 2 mana, draw 3. You think that would still only be D?
In fact, 1 mana, draw 2 sack a creatures in black. Yeah.
Yeah, there's also like a blue version of it, I think.
Yeah.
It's like sack an artifact instead or something like that. I don't remember.
Okay, yeah.
But if we ignore the rest of the text and we just say it's 2 mana, draw 3, do you think that's only D, or do you think that's already in C tier?
I think that's only D.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You think they'd actually like print that? Like that's like not outside of the realm of possibility.
I don't think they would, but I think they could.
Okay. Hidden Terrain though also lets you look at the top 3 cards.
Yeah, so this is a C card, I think.
Any of those are a land, you put it into the battlefield. It's not a guaranteed, but holy crap, is it likely that you're going to hit a land in the top 3 cards of your deck?
Yeah, no, 2 mana ramp and 2 mana draw free together is kind of ridiculous.
Do you think it's only C?
I think it's only C. I feel I have to put it into B, but if I hear a good argument, I can be convinced, I guess.
Yeah, I'm considering it, right? Like, there is some really stupid, busted card draw in AI Magic. I've used it, I've seen it, it's very, very strong, and this is not the strongest I've seen. But it's very reliable ramp as well. Not guaranteed, but very reliable. It doesn't enter the battlefield tapped or anything, it just adds it to the battlefield, this land.
Oh boy, actually, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't notice that.
And just, like, I think 3 is at that point where it's good enough.
No, because it's not a ritual, but this makes it a 1 mana card, so yeah, let's put it in B.
I think this is a B. Now, are there stronger cards? Maybe. But, like, I don't know. Like, again, best card in your deck does not mean, like, this tier will only ever have 1 card in it, right? Like,
yeah.
I think it's better than what you expect from AI Magic. It's one of the best AI cards that you will see. Of course, we don't know how you're going to be using the AI. We often will forge a pool and then build our decks from there. And so it's sort of like pseudo-limited the way we play it often. So that does affect my perception of this, right?
Yeah.
Ruinous Labyrinth Devourer. 5 mana, red, 6/5. So very expensive. But whenever Ruinous Labyrinth Devourer attacks, exile a creature defending player controls until Ruinous Labyrinth Devourer leaves the battlefield.
Oh boy, it's 5 mana though, but this is
So
like I think this is at least C.
yeah, well, I don't know. I'm actually legitimately curious if you could put this into real Magic because it's a 5 mana 6/5, already very good, but it doesn't have haste. It doesn't have anything like that. It needs to sit on the board until the next round. Now, could you give it haste? Yes, you could. Right? Like there are tools to give this haste. Totally. Right?
I'll put it in D.
I don't know. I'll talk about it for a bit. Right? Like
yeah. You saying that convinced me to put in D.
It also
you
doesn't
like,
exile
darkly.
forever. It's just a jail effect. Right?
Yeah.
Which limits the ability of it. Honestly, I'm very scared of my own jail effects because if you jail something that has an ETB, your opponent actually gets a benefit when it comes back. It's very, very interesting. So, there's that. Sorry, I just had a thought about two, never mind. My brain did a thing, and you don't need to hear about it. If you've had your fill of cowering devils, let them get on with it. I've a riddle for you, Master. Einar, Redcap Baron. So yeah, I think it's D. I think that we could see this in real Magic. It is expensive. It's very strong. You'd probably see it as like some kind of legendary or something. It wouldn't just be this, right? It would be mythic or something. But those cards exist, right? Like, rarity does exist in Magic. There is a scale to power level, right?
Oh.
Hack and Slay is in the chat. Hello, Hack and Slay. Saw a video on YouTube, looked for live tap, was confused. Also, good evening. Yeah, it's on Twitch. I should probably just be streaming on YouTube. Hello, future YouTube video. Welcome in. Volcanic Thunder is a 3-mana red instant with Arcane. I don't know how to assess that. Yeah. You may reveal a mountain card from your hand, rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Volcanic Thunder deals 2 damage to target creature.
Only target creature, that's a shame. I feel like this would be like a burn staple if it was if otherwise.
If it was any target, yeah. So, I mean, this is effectively, you're going to probably have an amount in your hand if you're playing red. 0 mana.
Not always, though. In late game, you might have to pay the free mana.
That's true. In late game, you don't care as much.
Also, or if you're playing dual lands,
Sure.
That kind of takes it down even more.
That's fair. Do you think they could just actually print this? 0 mana, deal 2 damage, 0 mana shock.
I think they could. I think this is kind of just an actual Magic card.
It's a cool one, though.
It's a cool one. It would be a cool one. I think people get excited about it and be into it.
Yeah.
I think maybe it'd be more. It might even be like a Modern Horizons card or something like that. Not
sure.
just like that. But I think at the end of the day, just a natural card.
Just natural card. I think you're right. Which it sounds like it's our F tier. It's the worst you could possibly do. But it's still very cool. And unfortunately, probably just natural card is the wrong text for this because this does not exist. But it could, and it would be cool, and I think everyone would be pretty okay with it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Just natural card. An instant of pure force that sears like a volcano.
Yeah, I would be into this card existing.
Yeah. But you don't think it would be strong.
Yeah.
You think it'd be fair?
I feel like people would overestimate it in spoiler season.
Yeah, that's actually a great take. Yeah, I think that's about right? Fair, but would be overestimated.
Yeah.
Yeah, F really is the fair tier, not
F for fair. Yeah,
F for fair.
I like it.
Stinging Wind is a 5 mana red 2/4 elemental with flying. Red, Stinging Wind deals 2 damage to any target.
Oh boy. It does have the same thing as the other card we saw where it's it really has to stay on the battlefield.
It's gotta stay.
Yeah.
5 mana to get there. Even if you don't have to tap it.
Unless you play it a turn late, but even then it's what's 2 damage going to do on that turn? Maybe something, who knows?
Yeah. This can just hose some decks, but if you spend 5 mana to play it, you don't have any mana to use it.
I think it's strong though. I think it's strong for I'm a standard player though, so I kind of that lets me see a world where 5 mana cards could be good. But
it's also only a 2/4. It does have flying though, if that matters.
Yeah, yeah, it's a flying blocker. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a
think
good put. It's a flying blocker.
Yeah, I think it's like I honestly think it's like kind of shield rid tier, kind of like
Oh, really?
recent shield rid. Of course, I mean like kind of like I feel like it's like pretty heavily played in like standard, but like like and might get played in like modern even, but like not like but like only in like niche and modern. Strong and standard, niche and modern.
Yeah, I think I agree, right? Like this is strong, but it's tempered, right? You're like, well, it's a 5-mana 2/4. That's not very good, right? Like the fact that it's not coming down till late unless you could cheat it out somehow. Yeah, I feel like that all those things line up to make it a strong card that is printable.
Yeah.
Those things are vicious. You'd think they had all the angles? Yes, angles covered, wouldn't you? Kadar, Minister of Torts.
That's an elemental.
Yeah, it's an elemental. Stinging Winds. Appropriate name. Yeah. Orcish Rizuer, I don't know how to pronounce that, is a 3-mana 2/1 red Orc Pirate. Whenever Orcish Rizuer or another creature you control dies, you may create a treasure token.
Goes very well with that like infinite 1/1s, but you need a stack outlet. But yeah,
you still need a stack outlet. Let us know when we've assembled our 3-card combo.
Yeah.
Well, it would become a 4-card combo because what are you going to do with that mana, right?
I don't know. What couldn't you do?
Yeah.
And I mean that's the other thing. I definitely been in situations where like I've comboed to get big mana but no card draw, so it's like that's a real thing.
So
whatever.
What do we think about this? Right? I feel like this effect exists in Magic, but I don't know what the going rate for it is.
I feel like it's a D. The fact that it's always at least one, its floor is at least like it dies because it's a treasure token. Gets us from out of F tier into D tier.
Yeah, it's just a strong regular Magic card. I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think so. Right. If I compare it to like, there are some cards I'm thinking of, like what is it, like Morbid Opportunist or something. That, if I recall correctly, is this effect, but it's a once per turn version.
Yeah.
And that card...
I think Morbid just draw the card, not make the treasure, but I don't know.
Well, I'm thinking of something. I don't know which card. But I think it has a once per turn restriction, and honestly, I think those cards could do better, right? Like, those are cards that, if you made a better version, people would be like, well, they power creeped it, but, like, that's fine, right? And I think that's where this falls. Check out?
Checks out, yeah.
Yeah, alright. So, strong for regular Magic. They have no mind of war. No mind for war. So they make a fine enemy. Orcish saying. Secret Doorkeeper.
I mean, the thing Orcs would say.
Yeah, it does sound right. It's like, well, they're bad at war, so let's fight them.
Yeah.
Because we're cowards.
Yeah, we're just like the best cannons of like, I don't know, Middle Earth or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Secret Doorkeeper is a 2-mana 1/1 blue human wizard. Whenever Secret Doorkeeper attacks, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls. So it's like that other card, but it's a 1/1 for 2.
And also it's permanent. It's non-land permanent. Like, you would, so it has limitations, but you would make it work. You would try and make it work. I think it might be low B.
Low B, yeah. This is borderline gross, right? You're like, do I just not play this card because it's so gross? But it's a 1/1. It's a 1/1. Just ping it. It dies.
Yeah, I feel like just putting this in C feels wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's on that cusp of like, if I open this...
Actually, this might be like low A, honestly. I don't know how I can say it's low B and low A, and possibly low A, but like...
Hack and Slay in the chat is saying Secret Doorkeeper C. Strong for AI Magic. Interesting. Really? I don't know if we've gone over the tiers since you've joined the chat, Hack and Slay, but A is the unplayably overpowered tier, and B is like the best card in your deck, and then C is strong for AI Magic. D is strong for regular Magic, and then F is it's just natural card. To me, if I'm thinking about if I was playing AI Magic and I rolled a bunch of cards and I was going to assemble a deck and this one came up, I would go, is this too rude to play? Right? And that's what Unplayably Overpowered means. Is this too rude to play? Is that what it means to me? Sometimes,
yeah, I
not
think
always.
the thing is like, it's like a weird thing where it's like having no removal on turn 2 is a thing that like happens, and you can't expect your deck to always have removal on turn 2 unless you're playing a control deck.
Yeah. I mean, it dies super fast.
But also, yeah, it does like. I think it's B. I think like, the fact that like there are ways to beat it. It's not like just like you win. Puts in the B tier. But also is like solidly in the B tier. Like,
I agree. In the chat, we're seeing Hack and Slay say it would be B if it was either 1 mana or it had more than 1 toughness, and that's debatable, right? Honestly, if this was a 1/2, I don't know how much better it would be. I see where you're coming
from, but yeah,
it does need to attack, right? But if you're attacking every turn from turn 2 on, you just remove the thing before combat, before blockers, every time, right? And sure,
yeah,
it has its limitations. We've talked about that, but it is so good. I don't know.
Yeah, it's basically like win or make your opponent go down, remove flow, which I think that is like a B, yeah.
I think it's a B. Yeah. To think the door would ever open was to set it spinning on its hinges, and yet here I am, about to close it once more.
That makes no sense.
Well, I'm a wizard who's going to open a door and put somebody inside there, and it's never going to open again.
I guess so.
I like the Secret Doorkeeper as the flavor for like something that a creature that exiles people is really, really funny to me.
Yeah. Also, yeah, like just the reading chat, occupant. Yeah, I actually did not think about the fact that like it exiles before combat. Initially, we've already read that. So yeah, like no, it's a very good point.
Oh yeah. You attack before blockers, things get exiled. Doesn't need to do combat damage. Doesn't need to like only wait until it gets blocked or anything. Like it is getting through.
It doesn't even get the death trigger. Like yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's exile. It's not destroyed. Yeah, it's a lot, but it dies. So I don't know. It's really hard to say. Selesnya Sky Knight is a 3-mana 2/2 red human knight with first strike. For 2 mana, exile target creature. Really cheap removal is a pretty common thread in in the cards that I've assembled here because
they'll just give you exile.
They're very obviously powerful, right? This is 5 mana, sorcery speed, kill something, exile something, right? Yeah. Like at bare minimum, that's what this is, which is already not horrible. 5 mana, like exile target creature at sorcery speed. You're not happy about it, but it's fine, right?
Yeah.
But after that initial like 5 mana impulse, from then on it's just 2 mana. This doesn't even tap.
Yeah. Good point about like it curves into like 2 exiles on turn. Yeah, I think this is like I still hesitate to put it into B. Even though we just I don't think it's like that far off from the card we just put into B. But
so if I ran this card against you, you'd be like, "Wow, that's harsh but fair."
I don't think B is that.
I mean,
but you think C is that? Yeah, I think that's fair.
Well, no, I'm saying that if I play a card and you're like, "I can't believe you'd even play that. That's so rude." That's A. That's what A tier is.
Yeah.
Right? Like. You would not dare play this because you respect your opponent too much. That's A tier.
Yeah.
Is this
insulting? This is hard. This is harsh but fair, I feel like.
Yeah. I think it puts it in B for me.
Okay, yeah, I believe it. I think like I'd rather have the previous card, but like this is.
Here's a better question.
The reason I'm hesitant is just because we saw like a kind of more powerful version of that.
I don't know if it is more powerful. That one's got to attack. If they have 2 blockers, they just die. It only does one thing a turn.
Yeah, good point about like the 2/1/1s. But yeah, like
yeah.
I
have a question for you, B.
Yeah.
3 mana 2/2 with first strike. How good is that?
It's a hill giant, not very.
Okay. I legit don't know how strong a 3-mana 2/2 with first strike is.
It's not as red and just like a bear.
That would
yeah.
So that would be like weaker than cards we put into F tier. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. So that doesn't elevate it much, but it is legit. Like, you can block with this, you can attack with this. This is a decent card, and you're not losing any of the value because it doesn't tap or anything, right?
Yeah.
Hack and Slay says B tier, not UB. Good whenever you draw it. Early on, you have a solid creature. Later, say on turn 10, you put 3 exile effects on the stack before the opponent can respond. That's a really good point, right? Because like I said before, bare minimum, this is like 5 mana, exile something sorcery speed. That's not amazing, but it's fine. Well, but if you have 7 mana...
make your opponent deal with it, yeah.
If you've got 9 mana, right? If you just have like a whole board, like you just have open mana in your top decking, and you top deck this...
Yeah, I think my initial hesitation to put into B was just because of like comparison. I think it's definitely B here. I'm excited to see our first A tier when we get it.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, so we are at about the hour mark. I'm kind of curious, how many have we done so far?
I don't know. Let's.
Can you do like a count of like how many cards are left? We started like 100 cards, right?
We actually started at 92, and I think there was. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure how many left. You can probably see better than I can.
You see like how many items are in a file, right?
I can, but it's cut off the way I have it oriented. Maybe I can move this up slightly.
Okay.
It's 82. We've done 10, not including this one.
Okay, we're gonna ramp up, but like I don't know, I feel like
there's some bonus cards that are not in this folder yet because I want to do them last. So we started at 92.
Okay, cool.
So Sledging Sky Knight, solid B. Solid B. He bears his honor like a shield, but in battle, he rides it like a lance.
That's a funny image.
Pitiless Butcher is a 4-mana 2/2 black horror. As Pitiless Butcher enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. Simple. F straight up.
4-mana Universal Lord. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. If you just had a creature that was a 2/2 that buffed all of your creatures, how much would you pay for that?
3 mana.
3? You think that's a 3-mana card?
And even then, I'd be like, this could have been an Anthem.
I'm legitimately surprised to hear that. Like, I feel like that effect is very strong, but I don't know.
Honestly, it would kind of be like 2 mana. Actually, there is an enchantment version of this that's 2 mana from Kaldheim.
And that's generally considered better than being a 2/2 creature, even though you're losing the body, you are getting stuff. Okay. It's worth pointing out that it is a 3/3 creature because it isn't other, but that's only if you choose horrors. So never mind, that's probably irrelevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an F, and it's F. It's worse than most cards we put into F. You're thinking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So what was Bloodline Defender? Hack and Slay reference to the chat.
Yeah, if you want to pull that up, actually, that would be great because I can't really the way I have it set up right here.
I cannot.
When meat is on the menu, it's a safe bet. The predator is nearby.
Yeah, but I agree. F regardless.
Cool.
Yeah.
Giant Custodian is a 2-mana 2/1 white cat knight. It has first strike, and whenever Giant Custodian attacks, defending player sacrifices a creature.
Oh.
So it's like a weaker version of the when it attacks exile something, because your opponent's deciding what it is.
But also, 2-mana first strike because they were able to attack, so it's like I feel it's like comparable.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
Yeah, I think honestly, like I think we put in the same tier. I think we put in B.
You think it's still a B? Oh, interesting.
I think the fact like first strike on its own, like not in like other contexts, like not really that much of an upside, or a +1 first strike like on their own, not really much of an upside. But in the thing that like does a busted thing when it attacks, I think that is. I think. At least I think like honestly the blue one is still better. If I can pick between if I was picking between the two, I think they're in the same tier. Yeah,
tiers have a range.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't feel like I have a strong argument against that. I think you're right. Sacrifice is brutal, even though your opponent gets to choose what it is. It's still brutal. And What?
Yeah.
It's a creature.
Also, if it comes in early, the sacrifice downside of like they get to pick isn't so bad because
Ideally, your opponent has no creatures left afterwards. That's the hope.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I could see the argument for C tier, but I think like it is in the B tier range.
Yeah, Okupant in chat is saying it's sacrifice, so just worse in several ways. It can survive better, but still, this is C tier.
Yeah.
I don't know. How would you feel if you played against this? Is what I want to know.
I would. The thing is, like, I think like I'm kind of corrupted by my knowledge of the other one. But
that's fair. That's fair.
I think So I think on its own, I would think it would. I think it would be no question putting a B tier if like I hadn't seen the other one.
Right. If we looked at this one first. That's a really interesting point. Ooh, Hack and Slay is saying Adaptive Automaton, 3-mana artifact creature construct. As Adaptive Automaton enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Adaptive Automaton is the chosen type in addition to its other types. Other creatures you control get of the chosen type get +1/+1. Oh, fascinating. So that is basically the same as the previous card. What's the power and toughness? I guess it doesn't super matter that much, but that's a 3 mana. That's what you were suggesting, B. You were saying that would be 3 mana for just a universal lord. Oh, and Hack and Slay saying it's a 2/2. Very cool. Yeah. So our 4 mana version strictly worse. Very cool.
Not strictly. Like it is like it does hit creatures that were played before it. So.
Oh, did I misread this?
Yeah. Oh wait, no. I'm
no. Yeah.
I thought Adaptive Automaton gave +1/+1 counters. When our creatures are the type ETBs.
Okupant is saying the first one is late game removal for anything that you choose. The opponent can avoid this with Giant Custodian.
Oh, maybe you're right. I don't know.
I'm not sure if you're comparing it to the.
I think I honestly leave this up to you. I think it's like B or C, whichever you pick.
Yeah, I wonder if we would have put this in B if we saw it before the Exile one, and then we would have had them both into B.
Yeah.
I think that's very likely. I don't think that this is the best card in your deck. I think it's a very strong card, but I think it has very clear limitations.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think I'm over accounting for my own bias here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It guards the sacred shrines and sacred relics of the League of Noble Halls. But at the end of this, we should go through the tiers really quickly and see, like, does the power level actually end up that, like, checking out the way we expect it to?
Yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job so far.
Yeah. Spectral Procession is a 3-mana blue instant. Choose one or both. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Each creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn.
So you pick both, and creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn.
Yeah, how strong is that? I have literally no idea. I like a nice.
It's a little effect. Weird in blue, but it's basically enough. Yeah.
Because I don't know what the going rate for this kind of effect is. Like being able to say I have a huge board and instant speed +2/+2 to my entire board. I'm now. I blockers have already been declared. I win. Right, like in a lot of situations that can happen if you have wide enough board.
Yeah, but that means you have to have a board and you have to have that situation come up.
Yeah, sure. No, you're 100% right. And so what I'm wondering is, we have precedent for this effect, right? Like this must exist. Instant speed +2/+2 all creatures.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is? Do you know how strong that is? Like I don't know what the cost for that would be.
I think it's been a 4 cost in white, which I think is probably where it'd be cheapest.
And that's still like we could afford to have it be cheaper.
Yeah, we can afford it. That's like draft material. Yeah. Yeah.
I can see that. I think that seems reasonable. Even the creatures of the night can be tamed. What a gift! Magus of the Sixth Sun.
Thank goodness. There'd be real trouble that couldn't be tamed.
Okupant says 3 mana +2/+2 lets you choose to avoid some things that kill things over certain power levels.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Lets you choose to avoid some things.
Like if you have if you want to get your creature specific power toughness for some reason, it helps.
Oh sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. Kavu Unleashed is a 3-mana 2/1 red Kavu. Tap, destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Oh, dude, that's quite a hate card. But it's really a hate card.
Yeah, it doesn't have haste.
I put in D. I could be convinced to put it down to F, but I think it's a D.
Yeah. Having forms of removal is always good, but it is slow, right? Like, would you rather have this in your deck or like, I don't know, a Braid?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you don't really like. Obviously, it can be really important to like get rid of one enchantment or artifact, but like
this might die before you get there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like generally it can be very important to do that once per game, but only once per game. It's like kind of how I feel like Magic gets set up often.
Mm-hmm. And so unless you can give this haste, that's not gonna happen until it passes back to you, and it might be dead by then.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're getting some D's from the chat. Do you think this is strong for regular Magic, B?
I think it's a bit strong, but like, it's like, Children tier, I guess.
Yeah, like they wouldn't print this. This is not just
a little less than Children tier. I think Children tier might be giving a bit too much credit, but like,
okay,
yeah,
okay, yeah. I think that sounds right. It's not just an
very mana dependent. Is like kind of thing.
A single death.
It would kind of suck because I feel like it would mean that like you couldn't really rely on doing an enchantment deck or something like that.
Sure.
Like
I could see that.
Yeah, which would be a bummer. Like it would kind of like I wouldn't want this like Kamigawa standard, for example.
Sure, like Theros or whatever.
Yeah.
A single death wrought an unfathomable toll on the pride of the Kavu. Now only a single clan remains.
Oh wow. They're like, I don't want to be a Kavu anymore with that. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, I guess so. Sanctifier of Tyrants is a 2-mana 2/1 white angel cleric. It has flying, and whenever Sanctifier of Tyrants becomes blocked, it deals 2 damage to each creature blocking it.
That's fun. It is basically a Magic card.
I think that's just a Magic card, but it is like interesting. You see this effect a lot actually in like older Magic design, right? Where it's just like, if you block me, you're gonna take some damage, but
the thing is, you don't really get like multiple creatures blocking a creature that often.
It reminds me of what, like flanking? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Where they get like -1 unless they also have flanking?
Document says D since it's flying, but I don't think flying is enough to put into like the tier.
It's a good question, right? 2-mana, 2/1 flyer. How good is that? That's
because it doesn't mean blocked by other flyers, which does like kind of make the 2 damage more relevant because like flying things are understated generally. But I don't know, like woo, I kill a Windrake, like I don't know.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing: you're not like. What this does is it means if blocked, this is a 4/1 instead, basically, right? Like a lot of times, because you're just not going to block it if your guy dies.
Yeah,
you're just not going to. So
and also it's like, okay, so this gets to come again unblocked every turn. It's 2 damage every turn. That is like not amazing.
Well, it's also a creature. You could like give it counters and stuff, like
Yeah, but then that's more work.
It is more work. You're right.
I'm pretty solidly in the F tier for this. Even if it like that's the thing. Like it is like unblockable 2/1 would be a D, and this is not, and this is like below that.
Unblockable 2/1. That's an interesting point.
Yeah,
this gives you the choice of trading with it if your thing is big enough. Whereas if you compare this to being unblockable. Flying unblockable, let's even say, so you can still like block and stuff.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point. That's a really interesting point about it being unblockable. Yeah. I think I agree with you with F. We're seeing in chat some decent arguments for D tier.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I do kind of feel like it is just like basically a blockable 2/1, which I mean that's nice, but it's I think I'd be hesitant to put that into D tier, even though it might just barely make the cut. And anything below that wouldn't make the cut.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, right? Like, it's not super flashy, but if you could run this as, like, 4 copies in a deck that cares about angels or something, would you?
Yeah. I mean, it would make the cut.
Yeah, I think I agree.
F cards would make the cut too.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, F cards are still usually they're good actual cards. They're not just
Yeah.
actual cards, right?
Yeah, this isn't like. I feel like D is like best card is like kind of like best card in your deck in regular Magic, and I feel like I put better cards in my deck in regular Magic.
Yeah.
Or D or C. Like
I don't know if they would print this effect. It's very oppressive, but like double strike does exist, right? Like
it's annoying, yeah, but like that doesn't make good. Annoying doesn't mean good.
Yeah, no. Hack and Slay has compared it to double strike, and it's not the same because it doesn't scale. This is actually a fairer version of having double strike in a lot of ways, other than it's like worse, fairer double strike. Could I see a 2-mana 2/1 with double strike?
If it was like 4 damage to your opponent, that would be different.
Yeah.
I would love to have double strike instead of this ability. That might up my appreciation of it.
And I think that is a comparison point.
I don't. I'm. If it was strong, it would be. If it was standard, I would be. I agree with that, but that doesn't mean that that doesn't automatically put in the D tier.
Hack and Slay in chat is saying if it was in standard, it would be a staple. And I mean, a staple is not necessarily like the strongest cards, right? They're the ones that are consistent and good and reliable, right?
It would go a lot of decks.
It would go in a lot of decks.
I can say that much.
I'm happy to put in F.
We have
heard all of the opinions, and I do appreciate the discussion that's happening. The voice of tyrants is strong in this city. It rings through the air, pulling the righteous to its side.
Yeah, we're the voice of tyrants. We're going against the chat and like.
Demon Dragon is a 4-mana, 5/3 red dragon. It's not a demon. It has flying, it has haste, and for 2 mana, Demon Dragon gets +2/+0. It's just fire breathing. It's just a 4-mana, 5/3 with flying and haste and fire breathing.
I mean, flying haste is kind of nice, but F.
Yeah. I legit don't know how strong you can make like this kind of effect because this is very much just an actual Magic card, but is it strong?
I feel like you make a really good card as flying and haste that would get you into a higher tier, but this is just Neff.
This is just Neff. That's fascinating to me. This card looks super strong to my brain. Like I know it's just natural Magic card.
It is like I feel like not to like. It sounds like kind of backhanded. It's not, but it sounds like the kind of thing where it's like if you were a kid and you open it, it would be like, oh, this is the best card ever.
Yeah, totally.
But like, yeah.
No, it's very much that. I'm a kid. It's me. I'm the kid.
Yeah.
No other dragon terrifies its prey, as does the demon dragon. I don't know. It's just there's better cards. There's definitely better cards.
Yeah.
Dragons, I'm always amazed how strong dragons are in Magic. Like, I get it. Dragons are strong. Don't get me wrong. But, like, a 4-mana, like, 5/3 with flying and haste, even without that other ability? You're going to print that? Really? I don't know. Did they? Does that card exist?
Oh, wait, which card?
4-mana, 5/3 with flying and haste. Like, does that exist in real Magic?
I wonder.
Or 5X. Like, who cares what the other side is?
Yeah, that's fair. I think sorry, I actually turned something on.
I agree with the F. I think that's fine. I'm just curious about that because, like,
I mean, you have like Gorespawn Dragon, which is a 4-mana flying haste. 4 health flying, 4 power flying haste for 4.
Yeah.
And like +1/+0, not that amazing.
Yeah.
+1 -1 even. Yeah.
Yeah. That card is busted though. That card is like, okay, actually, Gorespawn Dragon. What tier would you put it in?
Oh, Gorespawn Dragon. I think I would put it in you could creep up into the C tier, honestly.
I'd put it in C. I think that it is busted. That card is stupid.
Yeah, no, that should not. Yeah, that's a good distinction. It's like C cards are cards that could be printed in regular Magic, but
sometimes
shouldn't be.
Yeah, sometimes. I think I'm happy to putting Demon Dragon in F, but I think it's worth discussing of like the strongest real Magic cards are not in D tier. They're in C.
Yeah.
Minotaur Champion is a 5-mana 4/4 red Minotaur. It has haste, and whenever Minotaur Champion attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each creature defending player controls. So
The thing is, like, if they all have creatures, they could probably block this.
Yeah,
so it's like, man,
it is more expensive than the last card. It has less power to start, although it is a 4/4 instead of a 5/3. Doesn't have flying.
No flying.
But
I feel like this would be someone's like pet common.
Yeah, I could see that.
It might even be my pet common like draft. Like
it's a cute one, right? Because your opponent like has a big board and they attack you with it and they're tapped out and you're like, haha, you've got nothing, and then you play this thing and you hit them for 20.
I agree with Hackett. Like F is strong but he's trampled to be D. Trample or any kind of evasiveness.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's the thing, right? Like if this was like untapped creatures, it'd be useless, right? But yeah. It looks like a fun card in draft. I think that's a great way of putting it. So this is just natural magic card.
An actual factual magic card, yeah.
In the wake of civil war, the strongest of all became the new herdsman.
Wow.
Yeah, true. Madcap Shapeshifter is a 3-mana 3/1 red elemental shapeshifter.
I think some Madcap antics coming from here. Yeah, I don't know.
When Madcap Shapeshifter enters the battlefield, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So we already saw this card. We saw the same effect. I don't remember how much it costs, but that card gave it haste. And this one, it just resurrects a thing. And this card has to be your graveyard. But ignoring what cards we've already seen, what do we feel about this card? 3 mana for 3/1.
A graveyard over your graveyard is nice, but it's not that much big a difference in your graveyard because you want to have a graveyard you can depend on anyway.
Yes.
I think 3 mana is what. And this is a little cheating. But what did we put the last one? The last one that was like, I think we put it in C. Maybe. I think we put it in C.
I would guess C.
I think we also throw it in C as well.
Yeah, I love resurrection effects, but they are unfortunately not super reliable because you got to get stuff in the graveyard to be able to pull them out. But if you can,
they're strong.
They're pretty strong. 3 mana for a 3/1 and whatever the biggest thing in your graveyard is. That's what this is, right?
It's 3 mana make 2 problems.
Yeah, and a 3/1 is a problem. Like that's a good point, right? Like. Yeah, it's only got 1 power.
It is an issue, and I love to cause issues on purpose.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think that's an accurate assessment. I'm not a monster. I'm a shapeshifter. Yonjun. Yonatan Spy. Graceful Savior is a 3-mana 1/3 Angel Cleric. It's white, it has flying, and when Graceful Savior enters the battlefield, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's a res, but for artifacts. How useful is that? It's literally the same card, but it's in white and it has flying and it hits artifacts.
This is like very rapid fire testing here. But it's flying. D.
Really?
They just aren't like the things like big ticket artifacts and enchantments are like rare. It doesn't even get enchantments. It just gets artifacts. Never mind.
It's just artifacts. Now, if you're running an artifact creature deck, it is negligible, the difference.
Yeah. There's a little bit of color pipe break because, like, I don't know, like, I feel like white doesn't, like, normally get to, like, I mean, resurrect stuff, but not, like, big artifacts. Yeah. But, I think it's D. Yeah,
we got Okupan in the chat saying this feels worse than the last one. Okay. We have a consistent assessment of that. I think that's really interesting because it is a 1/3 flyer baseline, which is not amazing, don't get me wrong, but it is playable. And then this effect, like, it's potentially very scary, right? Depending on the format you're playing. But I think there's something interesting about you play a creature, that creature dies. Even if you weren't able to fill your own graveyard other ways, you can bring back that big creature, right? With this, if you want to bring back, like, an artifact of yours that got abraded or something, it's probably just fine, right? It's not like you're pouring out the Portal to Phyrexia or anything, right? Unless you're milling it or discarding it or doing something weird to get into the graveyard.
Yeah, I think it's definitely strong enough to be in D tier because there are some like cool things you can do with it.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like this would be like someone's pet. I don't know if rare, maybe pet uncommon, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree, right? Because, like, I think you could see this as a real Magic card because it's niche enough that it's weird and interesting and not just universally auto-include in every deck, right? Like, it's niche and interesting and not too powerful for what it does. Hackenslay says, whenever something brings back an artifact, I play the Inkwell Leviathan / Portal to Phyrexia in comparison.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that just like, are those things that you could bring back? I know Portal to Phyrexia would be.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Turn 2 Kafak Reunion, turn 3 this. Kafak Reunion, discard Portal to Phyrexia, turn 3 this. That's pretty good, but I don't know how consistently you can get that, I guess. And, like, also, it is not... Honestly, it's not that unbeatable, like a parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm happy to put Graceful Savior into Strong for regular Magic, and I hope to see it in the next set. The power of the graveyard to destroy worlds is overwhelming.
That's true.
Yeah. Bring back Crucible of Worlds. Is that an enchantment? I don't know what that is.
It's an artifact.
Is it?
Crucible World.
That's fun.
Crucible of Worlds lets you play lands for your graveyard.
I know, I just think that's funny. That should be really fun. Like, you mill yourself and then you, like, pull that back out. Oops, missed it. Milled over the Crucible. Ogupant says, it's more of a situation where the problem lies with artifact versus creature, since creatures are more commonly good versus artifacts. This feels weaker. I agree.
Yeah.
Knight of Grace. 3 mana, 2/2, white human knight. First strike for 2 mana, a generic and a white. Create a 1/1 white human creature token with lifelink. So just reliable token creation.
It's nice whenever you draw it, I feel like, and it is, I would put in D.
Yeah, I could see that. This is the token creator I wish I had in all my token decks and don't. I can't find this effect. Maybe it exists and I'm just bad, but I don't know where this is. And I like it. I think it's a really nice, reliable token creator to put into my token decks.
It's nice.
It's not like... I wish this card exists, and I wouldn't be like, how dare you for printing it? What the heck, right? Like, I think that is a very solid D for me.
Yeah.
Knight of Grace. Yes, we already read the name of it. All are judged. All must answer. May God give me strength, so that I may conquer fear.
Yeah, no, it's like, it's great. Yeah, I agree. Chump block, life gain, master creature is pretty nice. It probably would be actually be a little bit annoying to play against if you were, but also like, it's like, I don't know, if your deck can't deal with this, that's kind of on your deck.
Yes, I keep on Chimp saying chump block, life gain. Hack and Slay. Selesnya Guildmage was a mythic uncommon for a reason. What do you mean by mythic uncommon? What does that mean?
It's like, I think it's like mostly term in drafts. That's where I've heard it. It's like the idea of like this is an uncommon that beats out some mythics if you're first picking.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Terran Gorefiend. That's a real name, right? That sounds familiar. Terran Gorefiend is a 5 mana 6/6 red elemental horror. Whenever Terran Gorefiend or another red or green creature dies, you may pay 1. If you do, create a 4/4 red elemental creature token with trample.
That is... I'm kind of on the fence of F or D. I do... No, it's an F.
It's an F. Wow. This card's so cool. Really?
It is cool, yeah, but it's like...
I mean, it's expensive. I get it.
You
it's
have
5
to pay
mana.
1, and you don't get to pick when you pay 1. Like,
True.
If it was like this, like a little complicated, but if it's like pay 1, put a counter on it, when a creature dies, you can remove a counter to make a 4/4.
Yeah, I definitely don't think this is C, right? Because, like, this is the kind of effect where you go, like they reveal this card for the new set, and everyone goes, you gotta pay the 1. That's a shame. I can't do my cool combos with this. And it's like, yeah, no, they did that on purpose. This would be absolutely busted otherwise, or whatever, right? If it just was whenever they die. So this is the little bit. This is how we made it fair. And because it's fair, it's not anything higher than D. But is it still strong? And that is sort of my question.
Yeah, I guess I don't even think it's that strong. It's 5 mana.
It is 5 mana.
It's 5 mana, and like if you play it for 5 mana, it doesn't get its effect on the turn. You do it because you don't have any mana left.
Yeah, that's a good point. It also doesn't trigger when itself dies, right? So, no, it does. Yeah, it or another red or green. Yeah. So even then, you're at least protecting itself if you leave a mana open. It doesn't. Obviously, you don't get to keep the effect. You just get a 4/4 with trample, but it's a 4/4 with trample. It's not bad.
You can't judge things for breaking Ashnod's Altar, and anything breaks an Ashnod's Altar. Sorry,
you gotta call out chat before you start reacting to it.
Sorry, yeah.
Hack and Slay in chat says it wins the Ashnod Altar test, which I mean, sack a thing, pay 1, do the thing, go infinite.
But it's you can break Ashnod's Altar with a ham sandwich.
Yes. Yeah. That's sort of that question, right? Like we saw with that previous card that went infinite, right? It just every time something dies, it makes another 1/1, and that goes forever. And this one needs mana to do it.
Yeah.
It also costs more, right? Like the fact that you're going to bring it in and then do your combo, as it probably wants to survive the round, which it might. I mean, it's a big old creature.
Yeah.
Okupant says, "Does die trigger from sacrifice?" Yes, it does. If it does, then this card from the beginning that made flying 1/1s and allowed sack 1 creature upkeep makes this a bit nasty. Yeah, I think that's cool. I think those go together decently well. Obviously, neither one is the sack outlet, which is interesting, but it is giving you extra value every time, which is pretty cool. But do you think this is just an F?
I think it's just an F.
You think it's just an F?
I feel like I would wish it was a D, but it's an F.
Wish it was a D. That's an interesting way of putting it. Yeah. I don't know if I can argue against that. I think it's strong, but I think that the size of it, how slow it is to actually get online, dramatically impacts how playable it actually is. It's one of those cards that is better in theory than in practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's an F. In Terran hands, only destruction matters. Terran is spelled with an A there instead of an O, and it's spelled differently. Goblin Battle Reavers is a 2-mana, 2/1 red goblin. When Goblin Battle Reavers enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Mm-hmm. It's just a 2-mana, 2/1 that fights when it ATBs.
Okay, I think I did rate the 2-mana just destroy a creature very highly, but fight is
a lot worse. This thing will just die almost every time, and it's only a 2/1. I think this card's pretty bad. I don't know why this is here. I don't know why I chose this.
Yeah, I think it's weird. Everyone's saying F in chat.
Yeah.
I feel underestimates ETB kill a creature, but this is not that. Yes, an F.
Yeah. Do you think that this is a super, super low F? Is this even lower than F? Or am I wrong? Because I feel like this is lower than F in my brain. And that meaning I don't know why I included it in this list. That's the level it's on in my mind.
Maybe. I feel like it has ways to make it cool, but maybe I just want to make it cool.
You know what? Yeah. That's okay. That makes I think that counts as F. If you're ooh, I want that to be cool. I remember one time with Urza's AI, I made a wolf that ETB ate something fought something, and that one was really cool for some reason. I think the difference is that had toughness probably. This is a 2/1. This is going to die. It feels so
good to play a guy and kill a guy. But
yeah, it's cool.
But the thing the fact that it's probably gonna die before it's really just a kind of bad removal spell. Honestly, yeah, it's an F.
Goblin might be a relevant keyword. That's the only potential upside I can see on this.
That's true. Goblin's dying, or maybe this is buffed by Lord. Yeah.
Okupants is saying it's reliable removal, and it would work well with the 4/4 Trample Maker.
I guess.
Make an E for average cards.
Assuming they have an X2 on the board. But yeah.
Make an E for average cards and then let F be for failures. This is an F. Wow, brutal hack and slay.
Yeah.
I'm going to just move this into our F. Just an actual card. I don't know if I've seen ETB fight on a real Magic card, but I'd like to. I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
If you want to turn goblins, the best place to do is on the battlefield.
I don't know what turning goblins means.
Despotic Witch is a 4-mana 3/2 red devil. Despotic Witch can't block. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature.
Oh, I love -1/-1 counters.
It's fun. I don't know how much.
This is just an F. It can't block. It's like a kind of a thing, and also like
yeah,
it has to go over the whole thing around. It doesn't even. It is like a 4-mana do nothing.
I think that's generally true. Yeah, it doesn't trigger till your upkeep. Being a blocker is super relevant.
Emergency blocker, yeah. Which I mean, you feel sad for blocking with your 4-mana card anyway.
I mean,
but like,
you probably aren't going to ever attack with this, so it's always available as a blocker, right? Like,
yeah.
And the fact that it can.
But also, I like stuff that like because it's more of the -1/-1 counters. I think like the -1/-1 counters are underutilized.
Yeah.
And I would love to see like a creature with this text, but like not at this price paradox.
Yeah. I do also want to talk about Despotic Witch. I like witch, like being a devil. It's kind of a fun thing, right? The idea of like, witches consorted with devils and stuff, and they're not human anymore. They're devils now, and like that's kind of a fun way of using witch, since witch is not its own type, which I'm never gonna get over that in Magic.
Yeah. Now it's fun to bar me. Now that you mention this.
But I like that. I think that devil is a fun usage of witch. Sort of witch adjacency. Also, just like when I think of devils in Magic these days, I think of the Nuka Penna ones, and I love them. They're so cool.
No, they're so cute. Yeah.
Ride the Scourge of My Blasphemous Hand. Urza, cleric of
that
Dromoka.
goes hard.
Yeah. Anyway, Despotic Witch is an F. Hackensley is saying they borrowed Warlock for witches, right? Sometimes, right? Witches, if you look back at all cards named witch in all of Magic, they weren't all oracled to one thing. Every witch is different. Some witches are shamans. Some witches are wizards. Some witches are warlocks. Some witches are clerics. Perforos. You know Perforos, right, B? You know what Perforos does? Perforos is a 3-mana.
Right?
Yeah, they're a 3-mana green star plant elemental. Perforos' power and toughness are each equal to the number of swamps you control. When Perforos enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life for each swamp you control. It's a green card that cares about swamps. I just think that's fun.
I like my Golgari.
Yeah. How good is this? Probably not great.
The fact that it has these multicolors and it cares about like a basic land types.
Yeah. At bare minimum, this is like 3 mana, 2/2, ETB, gain 2 life. That's pretty bad.
It's kind of nice with like Urbog, but like
sure.
I would love to like make this work in a deck, but that does not make it the D.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those cards where you're like, ooh, I think that card looks fun. I'd like to see that card. Which is like, that's kind of what F is for in a weird way. This is unplayably overpowered. It's the search for the cards that you don't actually want to play. They're too good. Like, I'm the kind of player in real Magic who doesn't include cards when they're too good because I don't want to play cards that are too good.
You're a hipster, yeah.
That's me. So like, yeah. And this is a card that I go, ooh, that looks cool. Not, that's too strong. I don't want to play that. So, it's an F for me. But I do like it. I think it's a fun card.
I like how in this particular chat you type F to disrespect, not F to pay respect.
That's true. Hackenslay said stabilizes almost as good as pests against aggro. F.
And then occupant says pay respect.
Yeah. Did I read the flavor text here? A true ruler understands the wisdom of the ancients, and one thing they tell us is to leave swamps alone. Vivian Reed, Videk player.
Wow, she's a Videk. She plays Videk? I love Videk.
Yeah! Spine.
I can give all my Videk cards and play with Vivian Reed. That'd be great.
That sounds almost like a Star Wars card game, but it's not.
I would love it actually if they if they introduce the trading card game in Magic, like
would that be
like,
too masturbatory? I can't think of a better word than that.
up your own butt. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, what's funny about Unfinity, right? Unfinity did a thing where the amusement part is Magic themed, but Magic doesn't really exist. Like, no one's playing Magic, right? The Magic cards don't exist in that setting. So even in that setting, they didn't do that, and I think that was good.
Yeah.
See, Okupants is saying, "Oh God, A tier," and I haven't read the card yet. So I should probably read this. Spined Thallid is a 4-mana 6/4 green worm with trample. That's already pretty good. Spined Thallid can't block, the downside. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if Spined Thallid is in your graveyard, you may pay green. If you do, return Spined Thallid from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Really, I don't feel that like it can't block. Like it's like that's a big deal. Like I don't know. Like the thing is, like I can block it. Like, I know it's actually trample. Never mind. So yeah,
it has trample. It's very strong. It's recursive.
It's low A, but I think it is like yeah.
I mean, this reminds me of the card.
I feel conflicted about playing this. I wouldn't say no immediately, but I would feel conflicted.
Hawkenslay is saying, turn 1, Taiga, okay, Faithless Looting. Turn 2, play this. Then, draw the card for your turn. Draw the card for your turn? What? I think this directly onto the battlefield. What are you talking about? What? Oh, is that like what Faithless... I don't understand the fully thing what you're saying, but you make a very good point, right? If you can get this,
base looting is discard and draw.
If you can discard it, if you can,
1 minute discard and draw. So
get
yeah,
it into your graveyard.
Yeah.
Hack and Slay upkeep is before the draw step.
Yeah. I would.
Oh, it does have to be on upkeep. That's true. I hadn't really thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what you do is you play like a creature that's like you play like one of those like 1 mana play treasure things on turn 1, and then like turn two you Faithful Looting discard it, and then like
I think here's a really interesting question, B. If this said Spine Thallid is a 1 mana 6/4 with trample that can't block, and all the other text is still there, how good is that card?
That's enough, yeah.
That's like, yeah, you have to get into your graveyard somehow. But even at 4 mana, this isn't overcosted, right?
Yeah. Occupant says probably the reason that everyone would have XL. True. Yeah, no, I think if a low A exists, this is in there.
That is actually an interesting point, though, because Graveyard Hate does exist. There is a counter to this card. Right.
There is, but Graveyard Hate is rare enough that like that's not like not every deck can deal with it. And I guess I mean that doesn't mean the whole ton honestly, but like it's like most decks will have even if you have Graveyard Hate, if you don't draw your Graveyard Hate, it's a big issue.
Rakhtazar in the chat says D for talent.
Wow.
Okufan says it's still a 6/4 and getting into the graveyard isn't easy. What? I'm not sure what you're aiming for there actually. But to me, if I just looked at this card and I wasn't hearing every other one's voice right now,
yeah,
I think I'd put it in B. I think it's like the best card in your deck. It's so good. But there are answers, there are responses. I'm used to seeing this effect in AI Magic. I think that we've, like... I don't think I'd feel bad playing this card against you.
Yeah, I think same. Maybe we're underestimating it, but I think B is, like, good. High B, low A.
If I was building a deck of cards made by Urza's AI, I wouldn't be like, I can't play that. That's super rude. I'd be like, oh, that's really good. Like, yeah, I'm very happy to have this card, actually.
I'm so excited to find our first A card, but we aren't there yet.
I don't think we're there. I don't think we're there yet.
Okay. Playing the B?
Yeah, I think I will. I wanted to make sure that's... I was curious if I was going to get, like, a bunch of restrictions.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pin your...
what? Pinned by Bertez, it's still a 6 for getting into the graveyard.
Unpinned this message. Sorry. Yeah.
B's an admin. Yeah, or a mod, or whatever it's called in Twitch. Anyway, I'm gonna move it into B tier. I think it's a B. At the mountain's foothills, skulking goblins hide wary of the ancient forest that chokes their homeland. Mardu Harrier is a 6-mana, 3/4 green beast with flying. Green, Mardu Harrier gets +2/+2 as long as you control another mountain.
I think that's a C. Yeah, I was gonna put in D, but no, it's a C. Like, all you have to do is play a mountain, and this is like, oh, it's 6 mana. No.
It's hard. Let's actually break down the card first before we start deciding where it goes, because it's not necessarily clear, right? Instead of saying +2/+2 until end of turn, it is until you stop controlling a mountain. Right?
Yeah.
That's what that means. That we're all in agreement that that's what that means?
Yeah.
So, on turn 6, it's a 3/4 flyer. Maybe it dies before it comes back to you. Assuming we have mountains, which maybe you don't, but let's assume you have at least one mountain. And there's no, like, land destruction, which there could be. The next turn, you can buff this by an additional 12, and it just stays there forever. Next turn, again, and again.
It's not until end of turn.
It's not until end of turn. This is until you lose control of all of your mountains.
Yeah, which
that's how I interpret it. Would you agree with that interpretation?
I would interpret it, yeah.
Because it's as long as you control another mountain. Not you may activate this ability as long as you control it.
Which is a weird thing. It's like kind of a memory issue. Honestly.
It's a memory issue. You would never actually see this in real Magic, but I think it does function.
Yeah, no. So just to be clear to Rekazar, so C would not be stronger than the previous cards. Just to be clear, but. At least I don't think so. That's not how we've been doing this. But yeah, I agree on the F. It is 6 mana, easy kill. Good upside if you can stick, you can stick it. But like that's like a 6 mana card.
It's a big F for a 6. If you compare this to other really big things, like especially in green, how strong?
This would be a bomb in like I don't know, first years of Magic when creatures sucked.
I guess that's a wow. Harsh. But like, yeah, if I think about, I don't know, what's that big one? The Titan of Industry. How big is that?
Yeah. That is a 7 mana 7/7, I believe.
Does it protect itself? It does, right? It's like got hexproof or something.
Yeah. It gets a shield counter. Yeah.
It's a shield counter.
It has the option of giving a shield counter to anything, including itself.
So that card is absolutely busted. We all agree that card's super strong.
I mean, it's kind of a favorite for like a Traxa, but like, that's still good.
Okay. That's the kind of thing that my brain wants to compare this to. This thing has flying instead, and it doesn't do all its cool ETB things. And that's the big downside, right? It doesn't do anything immediately.
Yeah,
right?
but also kind of interesting is trample. Like, yeah.
True, this is flying, but yeah, that's fair.
Trample is like kind of pseudo evasion.
Trample is oftentimes better than flying if your opponent has flyers, right? You can chump block a flyer with a flyer. That's the thing you could do, right? Yeah. So it's debatable, which is better. It's situational, which is better. Where would I put this? I don't know. I think it's stronger than regular Magic. But maybe I'm wrong. Well, I mean, yeah.
No, it is F.
Really? I think it's above a D. I think it's
No,
a C.
I would rather be play type industry than this. Like, and that is like not even that well played nowadays. The standard. Uh,
Huh.
It's enough.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if I looked at this card and I instead said that it was a 6 mana, 3/4 with flying and green, add a +2, add 2+1/+1 counters to this.
Yeah.
Would that be good enough? Right?
Hackton Slay brings the comparison of Multani and Yargle, and like, yeah, it's kind of like that.
Do people not play that?
No, unless they're flinging it, but like,
well, yeah,
they don't. That's not really good. It's like a meme deck.
Okay, well, sure, but do they have flying?
They don't, but they're also much bigger and with less mana investments.
To be fair, I'd also think that Titan of Industry is above a D.
Yeah.
But no, I admit that it's slow, but not every slow card is considered, like... I think that if you're slow, you have to do something on ETB, right? Or be like a sorcerer or something, right?
Well, then you got slow, but...
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, would you agree with that, right? Any sort of, like...
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you didn't even block, like, a big creature until, like, you get back around to it. It blocks, like, a medium creature.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
This is an F, really.
I mean, I would it would say play. That doesn't mean that it's like,
yeah, it's
not like
brutal.
Yeah.
Ardu Harrier. Beasts of Burden, not of War. Siron Provo.
I agree. This is a made for war.
I guess so. Elite Kataran Mercenary is a 2-mana, 2/2 black vampire soldier. Cheap things are so much easier to be broken, so I have high hopes. Whenever Elite Kataran Mercenary or another creature dies, you may pay 1 if you do create a 2/2. Okay, it's that same sort of thing again, right? You gotta pay.
Yeah, but 2 mana is like makes it a whole lot better.
It makes it a lot more affordable. You can get your engine up earlier. As previously mentioned, if you have like sack to make mana, you can go infinite. Right?
I put in D.
D, okay. Actually, here's a question.
I think like in standard it would be nice to have a pattern of like turn free, play this, and then your opponent goes to kill it, and you make it 2/2 anyway, and you enter down a card.
Yeah, like how good's Doom Dissenter? What are the stats on that?
Doom Dissenter is. Yeah, I don't know if it's high B, low C, but
you're reacting to a thing that you're reading and not what I said, which is like, fine. But...
I'm responding to Hack and Slay saying better because it only costs 2, high B, low C.
Is Doom Descender only?
I would not feel this as a C card, but if it's like B card, I think it's like a thing that like it's like kind of like taunt for removal. Taunt are some terms. It is a removal beacon.
Right.
Kind of.
If you kill anything.
The thing is like even if you like avoid it, it's like still you're still only getting a 2/2 for 1 mana.
Yeah, it's not a ton. It's not like repeatable. Yeah. Like that other card we saw was just like spend mana, get a 2/2 or whatever, right? Just could pump out the mana like a factory. That one was.
Yeah.
I believe we put that in D. That one.
Yeah.
Just token generator. This is not that, right? This is break even. It's when something dies and then you still have to pay. Now, I think there's potentially, like, if you think about, we haven't talked a lot about creature types. Being zombies could very well matter.
That's true.
But this is not a zombie. If this was a zombie wizard, I think this card actually is a lot better than it currently is.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Or a zombie soldier, or whatever. Like, if it's a zombie, I think that this is a stronger card than we're currently looking at. Yeah. I don't even know if this is strong. I think it's good. I don't know if it's, like, strong.
I think it's strong. I think, like, the fact that it's, like, makes removal a pain is, like, enough for 2 mana. You probably want to play it in like a deck that like wants to leave a mana anyway. Is the thing.
Sure.
But yeah, like and also cares about your creatures not being removed. Yeah, I think it's still strong.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy to put it in D.
Yeah.
The elite of the elite, the Keterans, patrol the borders of Ravnica, and nothing can stand before them. Huh, I did not know that about Ravnica.
What does Ravnica have borders?
Judge of Jutland. Yeah, they border onto those forests, I guess.
I guess so, yeah.
Or maybe the borders of the plane, where they touch other planes. Judge of Jutland, or the Blind Eternities? I don't know. Judge of Jutland is a 2-mana, 2/1 white human soldier. It is flying, and whenever Judge of Jutland or another soldier enters the battlefield under your control, you may gain 1 life.
F, yeah.
Yeah, I think that seems probably correct. There are much more powerful when a creature enters the battlefield, gain 1 life cards that exist. That said, I don't know where those cards would land. I think some of those are very strong.
Not even good as Soul Sisters. Yeah. That's like the that's like the meme is the good Soul Sisters. But
Yeah.
not even.
Yeah, because it has to be soldiers, right? That limitation is very impactful.
It's a kind of nice 2/1 flyer in a soldier deck.
Would this be, if that didn't say soldiers, if that just said creature? How good would it be? Would it still be an F?
It'd still be an F. Yeah.
I think it would still be an F as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so we're at like about the 2-hour mark.
I've seen the future and it's glorious.
Yeah. How many? Do you want to do a count of like how many we've done?
We have done about 30.
Okay. I'll be honest. I think I have an hour in me, but I don't think I have more than that.
Cool. Let's try and pick up the pace then. Let's go.
Yeah.
Lightning round.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Amrau Tawaruk's favor.
I do this again, to be fair. But,
I would love to see if we can do it in one go, but yeah, we might have to do it in 2 parts.
I feel like you're very ambitious. Ooh.
I am very ambitious. Amrau Tawaruk's favor is a 2-mana white instant counter target spell. Create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying. We love a counter spell.
I believe in white counter magic. I think that should be more of a thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So this is already better than, or not better than, but like, yeah, this is already better than counterspell, right?
I wouldn't C, yeah. Unconditional counter with upside for 2 is probably C. Strong for AI magic. Probably maybe a bit too good for the power level I would like to play magic at, I guess. Which I don't know how much that means. Yeah. C.
I think that's probably correct. Creating a single 1/1 is not the most scary thing. It's kind of whatever, but especially when you consider color, which I don't know how important color pie should be in this discussion, but it exists, so it's worth bringing up.
Also, like typical dark archetypes, make countering stuff. Cards of what they say are counter stuff. Also, are decks that like little blockers. Yeah,
it's a flying blocker. That's really powerful. Just nice little flying blocker. Definitely relevant, or could get in for damage. I like it a lot. I think it's a super legit card, and I don't think that you would see it in real Magic. Now, do I think you could? Like, do I think it would be too would it break the game?
I think it would
be. Probably. Yeah,
probably a little bit. Yeah.
The thought of seeing you dance through the streets is enough to make me weep. Amrau Tawaruk.
Whoa! Rude.
I don't know who that is, but that actually is a contender.
Don't slow my dancing like that.
What?
Don't. Oh yes. Oh, maybe you're weeping for joy. I don't know.
Yeah. Totally. Oh no, it's a lovely thing. I think that definitely Amrau Tawaruk is in the running for potential future draft forging video where we try and forge a bunch of cards about a weird made up AI character. I've mentioned that in a previous video. I want to do that sometime. Anyway, there's too many things I want to do. Ravager of the Fire Darg is a 2-mana 2/2 red human rogue with haste. Whenever Ravager of the Fire Darg deals combat damage to a player, that player loses 2 life. So, 2-mana 2/2 with haste and deal.
It's an F, but a nice F. I would be into this card. I like dealing the damages, and it would be very good. Like mono reds.
Yeah, how does this compare to, like, I don't know, Swift Spear?
Swift Spear's better, I feel like.
I think so too. I think Swift Spear is a D, but I
Yeah,
don't think Swift Spear is a C.
Yeah, I could convince to put in D. I should say saying D. I could convince to put into D. It is probably would be a staple in any kind of mono red. Probably along with Swift Spear, honestly. Like,
Okay. I could go with D. I'm okay with that. Okapant says, if it was double strike, it would be D. Instead, it's F. Okay, let's actually do that experiment. B. 2 mana 2/2 with haste and double strike. How good is that?
Yeah, I think B.
Do you think they could print that? Or do you think that's too strong?
I think they could print it, but yeah.
Oh, if I saw a 2 mana 2/2 with haste and double strike, I would quit.
Wow.
I'd be like, nope, I'm out. What are you doing?
Doom Blade, wait. Yeah, go for the first. Yeah.
On turn 2? With haste?
Yeah, you take 4 damage, it's fine. I'll control your dang board. Yeah.
But there's 4 of them in their deck.
Yeah, and by the time you play them next for you have blockers. It doesn't like.
It's got double strike!
Okay, yeah, but you gotta have more next to.
Do you have more than the next 4?
You trade is fine. Fine to trade with. I feel like a free mana card.
It's 2 mana.
Yeah, no, it's a good 2 mana card.
Okay.
It's not a great 2 mana card. Doesn't have evasion. Doesn't have like I don't know.
Well, it would have evasion if it had double strike. Again, this is a theoretical thing. We're talking about this theoretical card that's stronger than this.
I keep going back to like the card we're looking at here,
Sure.
and forgetting about the double strike. But like, even so, I don't know. I think D is like kind of generous. Yeah, I actually like the Goy comparison. Yeah, like
Hackett Slice says you trade against this all the time. It fills the same role as Goyf.
Yeah, I put Goyf in the D. Yeah.
How good is that? Can you tell me that card?
Tarmogoyf?
Yeah.
Used to be modern staple, not really anymore, but still like very like.
Give me its stats.
It is a asterisk +1, where asterisk is the number of card types in your grave in all graveyards.
And how much mana is that?
2, 1 in green.
I don't see how that's a comparison at all, honestly, but okay.
I think it's like, I don't know, effective card at 2 mana.
Fair enough. Okay, sure.
I don't know.
I'd probably put this in D. It's not the most broken card, but it's maybe made the most broken at its like mana value.
I think like the thing about it is that it fits into an archetype, which just puts into D. Yeah, like
it.
The thing is like mono red is an archetype across formats, so I think it's likely going to be coming along with cards that help it.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, yeah. I realize I'm realizing now. I hate aggro. So there's a very good chance I'm overrating this card.
It's like kind of thing. Like I love aggro, but I love playing aggro.
Yeah, and you wouldn't play this?
I'd totally play this in D. Yeah, D is like where would means I totally would play this.
Okay,
yeah.
So you do think it's a D tier?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because I feel like the assessment we've been largely getting is F, and so I was curious where you fell on that.
Oh no! Sorry, I've been arguing with D. Yeah.
All right. A beggar once stopped him on the road to pay for his robes. It's not that I don't have money, he told the rogue. I have only $100. What? 100 dinars? What?
Wow, you own a few dinars?
That hit me like the Simpsons Malk joke.
What? Why
are my bones so brittle? I always drink plenty of Malk? like reads the milk carton for the first time and realizes that it's not milk that they've been getting at school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I just 100% just almost read it. Just I have only $100, and it's not what it says. Radiant Gorgon is a 3-mana 2/2 red Gorgon. Tap, Radiant Gorgon deals 2 damage to any target, and you gain 2 life.
Any target, you say?
It's any target. It's repeatable, but it's only once per turn. Well, unless you can untap it, of course.
Yeah, that's it. Put in D.
Yeah?
Yeah. Maybe that's being generous. I don't know.
I don't know. Gorgons weren't born of flame, but became the most ferocious predators on the surface of Kaladesh. Huh. Weird. I kind of would love to see a Kaladesh Gorgon.
Yeah.
Or like a Gorgon in red. Like a Gorgon of brass and steam. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. So yeah, repeatable, ping a thing, get some life. Seems nice to me. I don't know. It's 3 mana. It's a 2/2. We're seeing some agreement in the chat at D. Cool. Hack and Slate says, at its worst, it's a 4 life swing as an activated ability. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement to move into D, and I know I should not be belaboring so long, so that's okay. Hellion of Outrage is a 5-mana 4/4 red devil. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Hellion of Outrage deals 2 damage to each opponent. Cool. Little top-end card for your Spellslinger deck. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, kind of F is because 5 mana. If you play this on and play a spell, it would be better.
Yeah.
It would probably up it to D.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's 5 mana means that's enough.
Do you think you would play this in a Spellslinger deck? But it's not your favorite card.
I might force it, but like, yeah, I feel like I play it because I'm really greedy.
Cool, that makes sense to me. When a squad of high elves gets outnumbered, it does not necessarily mean a new tactic is needed. Just start shooting. That's
okay. We should just shoot. Why did I think of that?
Just shoot them. Bronze Blood Sphinx is a 5-mana 4/4 red Sphinx. Ooh, a red Sphinx. Whenever Bronze Blood Sphinx attacks, it deals 1 damage to any target and 3 damage to another target. So that's on the attack trigger. They have to be...
Yeah.
Now, here's a question, because I'm not entirely sure.
Actually, it was a pretty nice top-end for a mono red, damp, like burn deck.
Like sort of like a mid-rangey kind of thing, maybe. Like it's the base thing
like,
you have. Yeah. I have a question about this trigger though. It deals 1 damage to any target and 3 damage to another target. Does that mean that they can't hit the same target, or does that mean that the first one can hit itself and the second one can't hit itself? Because another often means not this permanent.
Yeah, you definitely need. Yeah, you can't do 4 damage to something.
Yeah, so 2 different targets.
2 different targets, but yeah, I do like the fact that if you really need to, you can hit itself to deal the free damage to another thing.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you can. Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
But it's any target.
Or something that you own that doesn't care about taking a damage.
Right, yeah. That's a good point. Because, yeah, if you want to ping 3 to face and there's no creatures on the field, you could ping itself for 1 and 3 to face, yeah.
Yeah. I am 5 mana though.
It's 5 mana. It doesn't have haste. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I would love to try to make his card work, but it's an F.
I think it's probably enough too. The Sphinx's voice is enough to wake a dead man. Wow, Angel of Glory's Rise is a 4-mana 3/3 white angel.
Wake a dead woman, but yeah, dead man.
Human. Flying. As Angel of Glory's Rise enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to and dealt by creatures of the chosen type.
Dealt by. That's a...
Yes.
Okay. It's tricky.
It's very weird, right?
Occupant says this one. And I wish...
You could either negate your entire enemy board, but now they have infinite blockers. Or you could negate... Maybe you have a dedicated, thing of blockers. You just make a bunch of your creatures not take damage. It's very weird.
It is so flexible and cool. I think honestly it's a B, but maybe it's just because I want to play this. I want
Really?
to like play this somehow.
Honestly, I think it's probably an F and just as fun. It's just like a card that you want to include in your deck and you will, but it's not like actually
It's at least a D.
powerhouse.
It is at least a D.
Really? Oh, that's super interesting. Okapan says, I remember this one, and I still don't know what this card can really do. Because yes, these cards have been seen on previous YouTube videos if you want to go back and watch those.
Oh, yeah.
So some of them people will remember, yeah. Ragnazar says, I was expecting stronger cards. You know what? Honestly, I was too. I was kind of disappointed with what we got with Unplayably Overpowered, but these were sort of the strong ones that we've seen. There are stronger cards in the set, though. I do know.
I like when Hashes says Commander Staple. This would be a fun Commander card, which means that probably it isn't even a B or a C. Maybe a C.
Commander
Staple.
Staple.
I mean, it's the first C we've had in a while, actually.
Slay says the clerics that tap to make angels no longer take damage. Is there like a cleric that like taps and deals damage to itself?
When you gain life, you can like tap for an angel or something like that. Like, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing. Like clerics that help with the angel synergy, but are not angels themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I am into this card.
It's so cool. I don't know what to do with it though. I guess you play it as like a stacks deck and just stall the game out. You like turbo fog, right?
I am the tribal player. Oof. Sorry, Occupant says you can make the entire Goblin army unkillable but nearly useless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the Goblin army can't fly, so yeah.
Yeah. Super weird. Super weird. I mean, that's an interesting point.
I would love to. This is C, but I would love this to be an actual Magic.
You think it's a C, though?
One of those rare cases.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you shut down your opponent's deck, and then they have no way of dealing with flyers, you can just fly over them with stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it says, it's decent for regular Magic, but still too easy to remove and 4 mana. I don't know if 4 mana is too much.
That's true. It is, like, easy to remove.
Honestly, a 4 mana 3/3 flyer is fine. Which I guess is what you're saying. Decent for regular Magic, yeah.
Yeah, okay, maybe it's a D. Yeah. That actually convinced me to put in D.
Yeah.
I don't think this is an F. I don't think this is just an F, but I think it's at least a D.
I can see the D as well. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. The destiny of all life depends on the light. Mindslaver. No, sorry. The Mindslaver is a 2-mana 2/2 red devil with flying. Whenever you gain life, draw a card.
Oh, red life gain. Wow.
I mean, you need to get the life gain on your own.
That's true.
Bring your own life gain.
BYOLG. Yeah, no, I would say this is a solid F, maybe D.
It is a 2-mana 2/2 flyer, which just baseline is already really good.
You see, interesting from how to play. I don't know. I guess maybe I underestimate life gain decks.
It depends on how much support it has, right? Because it's red, if we assume this is being dropped into real Magic, as it currently stands with no other support, right? It just is dropped in on its own. Maybe you do something cool with, like, I'd love to see a Boros life gain deck. That sounds really fun. But, like...
Yeah, or Mardu life gain with, like black lifelink flyers. Like, yeah, like,
Sure. Yeah. That could be kind of fun, actually. Yeah, I like that.
I don't think I put this in B.
I think life gain decks are very... I don't like them. They annoy me. They get really scary and big, but they don't have card draw, generally. They have a little bit.
This might be the thing life gain decks are missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, it's... I think I'm in C.
See? Strong for AI Magic, but you really shouldn't be running it. It shouldn't be in real Magic.
Yeah, it shouldn't be in real Magic. Or maybe, like... Or it would be, like, a very strong, like, iconically strong card, and, like... Yeah.
Yeah, alright. I think I'm happy to put it into C, personally. I'll drink your blood for the knowledge you've lost. Aki, Witch Doctor. Whisperhorn Devil is a 2-mana 2/1 red devil. We got a lot of red in this, actually, to be honest. It has Fear, for some reason, which if you don't remember, because it's an old keyword they don't use anymore, this creature can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and or black creatures. For red, Whisperhorn Devil deals 1 damage to a target creature and 1 damage to target player. So just a one mana to ping.
That's, I put it in D.
Oh, okay, great. Sorry, my brain shut down for a second there. I was just expecting you to say more. Yeah, it's a 2 mana. It pings. You think this is like strong for regular magic?
Turn your mana into damage. It's a very nice mana sink.
Yeah, just reliable. Throw some stuff in it. It's only a 2/1.
Also does damage to creatures. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, for me I just read it as like 1 damage to play, but no, that's like actual like removal on board too.
Well, it's important to remember, right? If there are no creatures, you do have to have a target, right? So you would need to at least have something you could sink the creature damage into.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But it's not up to is the important part. Otherwise, say up to 1 target creature or something like that. But I think that's probably not a problem. If your opponent has no creatures, you're doing fine, right? Like if you're just shutting down your opponent's creatures every single turn, you're doing okay. So I think D seems reasonable to me. I don't think Okupant is saying you can ping your own creatures totally. Yep, if you've got enough.
Yeah, but not this because you kill it. But yeah,
this would die, and if you want to sink like 8 mana into this, then you have to have enough toughness that your things aren't dying.
I think I actually like Occupant's like high D low C. I think you can convince you to play an either one. I think it's up to you, but as long as you choose to do D or C.
Yeah, I think it's a D. I think there's some limitations to this effect, but honestly, I don't know. Like, if this was printed in Real Magic, would people be like, holy crap, that's way too strong? I don't know. That's what you're... Honestly, I respect your opinion on stuff like that, because you know the community better than I do.
I guess so, yeah.
But we're happy with D?
Happy with D.
Alright. No angel in hell ever faced such an angelic warlock.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Necromancer's Pit is a 2-mana 2/2 red devil. We're seeing a theme here.
Have we gotten? I guess we have gotten non-creatures, but we've never gotten like non-creature permanents.
I don't think we've seen a non-creature permanent. Yeah, it's really unlikely to be made without like really pushing the AI in specific directions.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I should do some more stuff where we actually like tell it to make planeswalkers and stuff because it can.
Yeah, like enchantment is my favorite card type, honestly, and we haven't seen any of those.
No, honestly, some of my favorite foraging I've done has been when I mapped a real set mana costing card types onto the Urza's AI deck builder and had it spit out cards to match, right? So we'd end up like with different manas than we'd otherwise get, or different card types. Anyway, Necromancer's Pit is a 2-mana 2/2 red devil. When Necromancer's Pit enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature.
That's a nice effect.
That's pretty good. And for 3 mana, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Necromancer's Pit. Activate only if there are 3 or more +1/+1 counters on Necromancer's Pit.
Hatch's Slice of D, your only activity is better than Butcher effect.
Yeah, even just 2 mana for a 2/2 that ETB makes everyone sacrifice something is pretty strong. Because it's not every player, it's every opponent.
Yeah, I did miss that. How it was with Butcher effect.
Now, we've previously seen ETB just kill something, right?
It is a weird 2 abilities to go together, but yeah.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with each other at all.
Feels like it could be a green-black card, yeah.
Oh yeah, sometimes you see like unrelated abilities because one is a color and one's a different color. That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, C. I was saying D, but yes, C. Probably is... I always feel like ATB kill thing cards are often better than they look.
I could imagine that. I trust you on that because I'm leaning towards D myself, but I think you're right about they're stronger than they look, so I shouldn't trust my instinct there. No need to pray. There's only one way to God now. Wow, that is. Wow. I feel threatened. I'm in danger.
I want to feel that line. Yeah,
that's really good. Don't pray to God, pray to me. It's got that energy.
Yeah.
Guilt Leaf Wizard is a 3-mana 2/1 red Viashino wizard. Oh, that's fun. Tap, target player discards a card. Activate only as a sorcery.
Huh.
Repeatable discard is I've heard powerful.
It is, but like free mana is like you this maybe this card on turn 4 is less good because they're already like that's when you're running out of cards anyway. So it's like it's still good, but like I'm putting D.
Yeah, you think it falls into D? You don't think it's lower than that?
Yeah. As to the sorcery, I don't know if sorcery speed really matters that much. I think lack of haste matters more.
Hack and Slice
Yeah,
is D.
I think Hack and Slice is D. Repeatable discard is still never made. I think you're right, but yeah, it was never made because it's oppressive, not because it's like too powerful. Just like be kind of like a bummer to play against.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think you're right about like by the time this is coming down, because it's not until like turn 4 that you can activate unless you give it haste some other way, which you could. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a 2/1, needs to survive the round. This could get pinged down by any little panger. Second of all, you're right about your hand size, right? Like discard has less value when everyone's out of cards. And don't get me wrong, turn 3 is not too late, right? Like it's still pretty early.
Yeah, but turn 4 when it actually starts doing stuff.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. So I think D is right. I think D is the correct place for it. I told you my country was out of the fauna and flora business. It seems I was wrong.
I just want to put it out there. I really appreciate all the chatters that have shown up. You've really helped like make this. I don't know if
I agree.
I don't be. It's going to take me easier because like it's not like this was really hard. I'm having a good time anyway. But like having like field to bounce off of has been very nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I asked you to be here, B.
I guess so, but like having more than one person to bounce off of.
Yeah. Now it's good to have different points of view and stuff that people would miss. Brimstone Behemoth is a 4-mana 3/2 red beast. It has first strike, it has haste, and when Brimstone Behemoth enters the battlefield, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's this effect again.
They love this effect, yeah.
We've seen this effect a few times, just ETB resurrect something. It is your graveyard again, not a graveyard. But this is also a first strike haster for 4 mana. I think just straight up 4 mana 3/2 first strike haste. How good's that be?
I think that's pretty sweet. I think that honestly is enough to put in the high D range on its own.
Okay, so do you think this actually goes as high as to go into C with this effect?
I think so. I'm sorry. Could you look at what we put the best of the resurrect cards? Did we put it in C? I think we did.
I think we probably put it in C. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, but I think we should. If we didn't, we should have. But yeah, so I think it's a C.
I think it's a C as well. Yeah, we're seeing some D's in the chat, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's a C. I think this is stronger than anything you really want to be going up against in a. Maybe not. Maybe you know what? I have no idea. I'm bad at this. It turns out.
Wow.
Resurrection with a bonus for 4 mana. Yeah, it's way stronger than you'd have in regular Magic, even at sorcery speed.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It speaks of dark days to come. Its eyes are beasts, and it would slay to bestow its prophecy. As Mira, Theros a block pioneer with Theros block.
I'm so good at blocking, you don't even know. And to think this is a pain to block. So.
No, I think they mean like Theros block.
Oh.
Which is why it struck me. Not just like, it's the Theros block pioneer. No, it's the pioneer of Theros block. The Theros block. Subterranean Turmoil is a 2-mana black instant. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Gains haste until end of turn. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. This seems like a real card to me.
Rakthazar. I'm kind of confused by not strong since what you resurrected something much stronger. I don't think that like sounds like it's would be an argument for it being stronger, wouldn't be? I don't know if you don't mind like clarifying that. Yeah.
But this card,
yeah. What's this?
I think this is a real card. Doesn't this card just exist?
Yeah. No, it is an actual Magic card.
I think this is an actual Magic card. And that card is considered very strong, I believe, because there's a lot of like weird combo shenanigans you can do with it. But like, it's situational.
Instant. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, that's the thing. I think this is the instant, which I think the other one was a sorcery.
Right. Now, if you instant speed resurrect something on like your opponent's turn, it shows up, it blocks, and then it dies, which is fine.
And does VTB and gets his exit the battlefield.
True. That could be relevant, and likely it's going to be because you planned for it when you put it in your deck.
Yeah. I think it's a C.
A C.
Maybe a D. Yeah, no, a D. Sorry.
Yeah, to me this feels very similar to real cards, and maybe it's a bit pushed compared to them. But then again, I don't know what the mana cost of those cards are. Maybe they're not 2 mana. Maybe they're like 3.
No, they're 2 mana.
Yeah?
You're right. They're 2 mana.
Okay. The Demon Hunter Hunters loved the brute force of muck monsters and the sinister fun of shuffling muck monsters into play. That sounds like another card game.
I just like mentioned this Rizzlebrand, Atraxa 2. Very, very nice, like combo for Atraxa.
Okay.
New Atraxa.
You're discussing with Chad about the previous card?
Yeah. I was thinking Hatchet's Slay compares Grizzlebrand.
Oh, Grizzlebrand blocks, you gain your 7. Oh, no, that's this card. Okay, yeah, no, that's very true. That's a very good point. Yeah, very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, yeah, D. We're happy with D, or is this
happy with D? Yeah.
Happy with D. All right. I will say that the flavor text there made me think of a like alternate card game like called Muck Monsters. That's what it sounded like. Moving the Muck Monsters around on the table.
I play Muck Monsters.
Sounds good. Molten Devil is a 3 mana 3/3 black devil. Whenever Molten Devil or another devil enters the battlefield under your control, create a 3/3 black devil creature token. So this goes infinite.
Oh, okay, maybe that's Unplayably Overpowered.
So yeah, let's talk about this card for a second. This happens every once in a while in Day of Magic. It'll just make a card that will literally break the game, right? If you have no way of breaking this chain, it's not a May ability, right?
Yeah, this is just like draw the game.
This is
3 mana draw the game.
3 mana sorcery speed, cause a draw, unless you have a way of killing this while
or like a stifle, I guess. Yeah.
Sure. So if you have some way, you
need to kill it, or you need like a stifle effect.
Let's assume you have a sack outlet, right? A lot of these cards.
I don't want to put this on the tier list, kind of just feel like it's not like. I don't know.
What do you mean? I mean, so like a lot of cards we assess going, let's assume you have a sack outlet, right? And we go, holy crap, that's busted if you have a sack outlet. I think that this needs a sack outlet, and if it has one, because you can just say like, I play this, it generates a million 3/3s.
I don't know.
And then I sacrifice this guy. This guy dies and stops seeing.
It's gonna be a weird reaction, but I feel like this is just like such a not real card because it just goes infinite with itself. That I don't think it like kind of exists on the spectrum.
Interesting.
I don't know, maybe that's weird and arbitrary and like not the idea of AI magic, but like
yeah. I mean, I think that we're all basically in agreement that this is an A, right? Like that's what that's for. It's for the cards that are literally unplayably overpowered, the namesake of the series.
Yeah,
you can't play this. Don't play this.
If you're losing, you can be a real jerk and draw the game.
Yeah, what are you doing? Don't play this card. Don't do it. So
do it. Yeah. Okay, A. I was thinking, I kind of hoping our first A would be like something like really. Like hilarious win the game instance card, but it's like
I mean, I guess that you're right. This doesn't win the game instantly, which is the funny thing. They don't have haste or anything, right?
Yeah,
I think it is. A devil hotter than hell. Hackenslay says there were ways to break the combo, but had a way to stop itself. A 1-card gain infinite tokens. I would. I thought you said I would play it. You're saying I would put it in A. Okay. Like, really? I wouldn't. I'm not playing that. Flicker, appropriate, hopefully. Flicker is a 2-mana blue instant. You may cast creature spells as though they had flash.
When? For how long?
Hmm.
Oh, is it just like forever?
I think it might be.
Yeah, it's like that. You get an emblem, kind of. Not even an emblem, just like it's a floating effect forever.
I think it is. I think we have to assess it that way. Let's assess it like it is. Which I don't even know. How strong is that? It's only creature spells. It's only 2 mana. It's very cheap. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very strong. But
no. That's a B, maybe an A.
Like, if you had a spell that said, from now on, for the rest of the game, I can cast creature spells as though they had flash. Period. How much does that break the game? A lot of times it does. It's very, very strong. You would expect that to be from the thing.
I'm kind of like going. Well, I think it's a C.
I kind of think it's a C as well, right? Like,
yeah,
it needs support. Oftentimes, that's not that much better than just playing them because they're creatures. Don't get me wrong, flash speed creatures is very powerful.
Yeah,
I think it's a C. You're not going to see this in real Magic, period. So it's not in D or lower. But it's not the best card in your deck.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we're in agreement. Shadows are not the only things that flicker. Inquisitor Gavin. Gavin? Stormcaller Griffin is a 4-mana 2/3
self-insert character.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stormcaller Griffin is a 4-mana 2/3 white griffin with flying. White creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn.
So F.
Really? What? That's
a D.
Fascinating to me.
Nah, it's like no, it's D. I'm being harsh.
First question: 5-mana sorcery. Creatures you control have double strike until end of turn.
And some of the 2 free. Yeah.
Well, let's just assess it one piece at a time. How strong is 5 mana? Your creatures have double strike until end of turn.
Oh, that's unplayable.
Really?
Yeah, it does nothing if you don't have a board.
Well, sure, but it's a finisher with most boards. Like, you don't need much.
No. If they can jump block, then like they're good because it's only for. Now, granted, that would only be for 1 turn, whereas this is like repeatable. You can
every turn, right? It's like cumulative upkeep, passive effect. Creatures have double strike. I mean, you could play it on your opponent's turn to block or blah 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 blah, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I vote D.
That's interesting. Yeah, I would definitely put it in C myself. I think this is like
really.
This is such a ridiculous effect. Maybe I just really hate double strike. Double, as you've heard me say many times before, B, is the biggest number. It is so large. So double scares me.
Triple.
Triple doesn't exist.
Okay, fair enough. No such thing.
Hack and Slay says D. At 4, you could play Winota instead.
That's true, yeah.
How does this compare to Winota?
Yeah, no. I'd say Winota is more likely to win you the game than this because Winota makes the board.
Well, what's Winota do?
She makes it so it's a weird ability. Whenever you attack with is it a non-human or human? I think it's like whenever you attack with a non-human, you get to search the top so many cards in your deck for a human.
Okay.
And put it on the battlefield. Also attach attacking.
Okay. And so that triggers for all of your creatures, not 1 or more.
All your non-humans, yeah. Hello, Nito.
Interesting. I don't see the comparison. I guess you're doubling all your creatures, kind of, which is stronger.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, let's throw it in D. I'm happy to see that then. That is amazing to me. We shall use our wings to catch them, and their eyes to hold them. Honestly, there's so many real cards that I'm like, holy crap, that's broken. So, like, fair enough.
Yeah.
Inexorable Tide is a 5-mana, 5/5 white angel. It has flying, it has trample, and whenever Inexorable Tide deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices a creature.
Oh, that's pretty sweet, but still probably F or D. Hi, Nito. This is actually, do you want to like just lay out the stream concept?
Yeah. So we are welcome in. We are looking at cards made by Urza's AI, which Urza's.ai, if you want to go make AI-generated magic cards yourself. And they are we've made them previously on previous videos, and we've taken sort of short list of like 100 of them, and we're going through them and tier listing them between A, unplayably overpowered. Why would you put this in your deck? You're rude. B, this is the best card in your deck. You probably would definitely wouldn't be in real Magic, but like, and there's not many cards that are going to be better than this. C, strong for AI Magic, which is kind of has a higher power level than you might expect in regular Magic. D, strong for regular Magic. Best thing you're probably going to see in real Magic. Maybe there's stronger cards than this in real Magic, but there really shouldn't be. And F, just natural card.
Yeah, I think this one right here, this is like an actual card.
This is an actual card. 5 mana, 5/5 flyer is great. 5 mana, 5/5 flyer with trample is even better.
And cause a sack creature, which could. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you play Magic, I guess. Sorry. I got distracted. I think it could almost get to D, but it's an F.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, that sort of 5 mana slot as far as like flyers go, I'm really not trying to assess. Most angels I think are super strong in my brain because they're just like these huge creatures that can come down and just destroy everything. But yeah, it doesn't do anything immediately, right? It doesn't have an ETB. Gotta wait a turn. It's gotta survive. Mm-hmm. It does have flying trample though. It's very, very good. Okapant says if it was 4 mana, it would be D. As is now, is F.
Yeah, I think kind of the same way. I think if it had one more, like, if it had one better thing about it, it would be like that.
I think I agree. Yeah, I think that difference between 4 mana and 5 mana is very significant. And yeah, I like it. I like that assessment. When asked how she would answer a question, Marchesa asked, "Does the questioner believe that she can answer me?" From a Mystic Inquisitor. Marchesa is... Yep, she's a character. Scalebane Trickster is a 4 mana, 2/4 green snake warrior. Tap, destroy target artifact or enchantment. So we've seen this before in a different color.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much that one cost or how big it was.
Yeah, I think kind of similar deals, like a D. I think like I've been swayed by the chat.
Chat's saying F. Chat's saying this is an F.
Very strong F reaction, and I agree. G tier.
Wow.
No, just because like it is 1 mana. The last one was 1 mana cheaper. This is 1 mana more expensive. Same deal.
Yeah, I think once again the mana matters a lot.
And like it was the last one was on the edge. It's like also the thing. Like it's possible you can have like this 2 of the same card. One is 1 mana more expensive, and they're in the same tier. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what happened last time, right? We went, well, this is really cool, but like you want that immediately, right? If this had, I've said many times before, I want a keyword for haste but can't attack this turn.
Yeah.
Right? Like that should be keyworded. It should be a generally blue keyword. That would be awesome because haste on blue creatures always looks weird. I don't like it. But they should have, you can activate activated abilities this turn, right? I can see that as like a blue-green thing that they get a lot. That'd be cool. It should be keyworded. And with that, these cards would be dramatically better. But as it stands, nah. I didn't read the flavor text, did I? Oh well, too late now. Necromancer Demon. It's totally not too late. I could even just Control Z, I think. Necromancer Demon is a 3 mana, 2/1 black demon. It has flying. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you may draw a card. Simple, not too expensive, is a flyer. What do you think?
I played D.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could convince me to put in C, but it's like D is like your removal comes with bonus draw a card is real nice.
Yeah,
actually convincing me. Yeah,
I think it's D. I think it's like this is a card I can definitely see existing. It's good, not like the most broken thing ever, but it is still strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing low D, it's good. Yeah, I think it's good, and it's better than... Yeah, it's just an actual card. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad name for that tier. Ugapant says, see if any death would trigger it. As opposed to an opponent creature? Yes, totally.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I would position actually change F to like just a regular actual magic card. Because I think that's like more accurate.
Yeah, oh well. I'm not changing it right now, but yeah, you're right.
Fair enough.
Your necromancer understands the rules of nature in the case of death. He'll feed upon it, and you can count on more dead bodies on your hands. Haxtra's the Silver Muse. That's a story right there. That's a whole story. Yeah. Goblin Ringleader is a 2-mana 2/2 red goblin.
That's a card.
Whenever Goblin Ringleader or another goblin you control dies, you may have target player lose 2 life. Simple. Nice. Look at that.
You may have them lose life. You don't have to if you don't wanna.
Yeah.
You're feeling merciful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here.
So to me, this is the final like combo piece, right? I don't know. It is goblins only.
Yeah, but I feel like in goblin deck you make a whole bunch of goblins and then you attack with them, and they're danged if they do, danged if they don't.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I think it's really solid. I think that you could definitely use it with, you know, persistent goblin shenanigans if you wanted to, right? Very easily. Like, this is a combo piece in a deck that already exists. But is it strong or is it just a card? And I don't know, right?
I think it's a solid D.
Solid D? Okay.
Yeah.
We're seeing some C2D is what that says from Hack and Slay. This would be a staple in Legacy Goblins. Cool, yeah. I think it's D. I think this is like the perfect combo piece for that deck specifically, and otherwise it's fine maybe, but like, yeah. Goblins fight only to survive. They care for nothing. They care nothing for honor or glory.
Yeah. Wow, I feel like people have been too hard on goblins.
That's true. Ogre Battle Driver is a 2-mana 4/2 red ogre. It can't block, and it can't block. It's just a 2-mana 4/2. How do you deal with a 4-mana 4/2?
Wait, hold on. Can it block?
No, Ogre Battle Driver can't block.
Are you absolutely sure?
Ogre Battle Driver can't block.
Okay, then it's worse than F tier.
So, a 2-mana 4/2 is not even good enough if it can't block.
Can't block.
No, I think you're right that this is an F. Now, here's a question: if this could block, would it still be an F or is it in D? I think it's still F, right?
It's still F, yeah. If it's just vanilla. Yeah. 4/2. Yes.
I want to see more vanillas.
Hack and Slay says Yargle Parliament. Like, low toughness matters. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like they're not burning out the vanilla anymore, and it's like, you know what? It's not because vanilla can't be good. I don't think. I think it's because you're cowards. Make a 2-mana 5/5 or whatever. Do it.
Yeah, I guess. But you'll like it, yeah.
Yeah. No goblins. No goblin equals no carrion for the demon.
Okay.
Constructed Nexus is a 3-mana 2/2 red goblin artificer.
We keep getting things that like make me wonder if we're gonna get like a enchantment or artifact, and so far no.
Nah. When Constructed Nexus dies, you may return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Huh.
So this is instead of ETB, it's XTB, which is what I call dying or exiting, depending on the wording, but whatever. Generified. I don't think anyone else calls it XTB, but I like it. People should call that. That should be a thing.
Yeah.
I could coin a phrase. No, I couldn't. Anyway.
I mean, if you coined a phrase, I would think that we were a phrase of coin. Yeah. Death Cry. I like that.
It's funny.
It's funny because like the rattle, like
but it's also Battle Cry, which are both terms from Hearthstone. Anyway,
I agree with Rakthazar. After better ways than real magic.
Yeah, I think that's true. Right? Death is more annoying than it being an enter the battlefield. We've had a previous one that was rated pretty. I don't remember where we ended up landing on it, but artifacts being
I think we went in D also, actually.
Not nearly as desirable as creatures. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way to F. Brutal. A structured chaos, the good, the bad, and the very ugly. Sheltering Gauntlet is a 3-mana, 3/2 red beast. When Sheltering Gauntlet dies, create a 3/3 red beast creature token with trample.
Okay,
3-mana, 3/2.
This I like.
Dies, makes a 3/3.
Yeah.
Simple, hard to remove. It has trample when you kill it. You've only made me stronger. I like it.
I feel like it's still an F though. Yeah, but it's a cool F. It's like a cool. The cool F is like a cool F. I don't know how you do that, but like
yeah. Well, I'm kind of curious. Like, does this actually exist? Like, is there a card that is almost identical to this card?
I feel like there is, and I feel like it's probably the fact that we don't remember it is like
I think you're right. I think it's probably this in green, right?
Yeah.
I bet there's a green card that's almost identical to this effect. It's even a beast, probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think it goes an F.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't get a home to Kikimora. Perilous Vault is a 3-mana blue instant. Destroy target creature or enchantment. Draw a card. 3-mana kill spell.
Also, enchantment is real nice.
The fact that it can enchantment is nice, and you get to draw a card. This is just
like D.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think
it's like a break, but yeah.
It took me a second to parse what you said. You think that they'd print this? You think this is D?
I think I think they could. I don't think they would because of the color five break.
Okay, sure. Yeah. That's so interesting. Yeah, I don't know what the best removal pieces are these days. I think they're 2 mana
I think
generally.
Blue does not get to just destroy stuff.
Sure. Yeah. If this was I don't know, 3 mana, but it's a hybrid blue-black.
They would not do that.
Yeah. Let's say they did.
Yeah. I mean, that's you thinking it better, so that's still D.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Nothing, not even the Sphinx herself, is safe from Farika. How do you pronounce that anyway? Messenger of the Court.
Faraka, maybe? Or I didn't get a good look at it. It's a little hard to see for me.
Well, it's a real Farika, right? That's one of the gods in Amonkhet, right?
I don't think so.
Messenger of the Court is a 5-mana 2/3 white angel. It has flying, and you may put a charge counter on Messenger of the Court. Oh, as an act that it's got a colon. I guess that's the cost.
Weird.
Wait, but the cost is that you may? Does that mean it's free? Does that mean it's 0?
Yeah.
That's weird. Search your library for a creature card with flying, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle.
Just Squadron Hawk all your flyers.
It's 5 mana for a 2/3 flyer, but it can draw all of your flyers. You do have to reveal them.
Yeah, I guess B, but it doesn't. I don't know. It feels like it's not really in the running. I feel it's not really on the spectrum. But
then why do you think it's in B?
Because I mean,
it's a super busted effect.
If we're reading it generously, which I feel like we kind of are, it could be because the cost means nothing really.
Do you think that's true? The cost means nothing here.
Yeah, we're kind of generously we're switching human brains giving it meaning.
Because it's very, very, very ridiculous. It is the strongest card draw effect you can imagine, basically. Not exactly because it can only hit.
Draw all your flies at will. That's a B. If that's how I read the card, and yeah.
Yeah. C for infinite card
C
draw.
too, yeah.
B, if it was cheaper, it would be A. And you don't need to take the first flyer you find. You search for the one you want. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even draw. That's a good point.
Yeah. I petition for B.
All right. Let's put in B. Best card in your deck, which I guess it kind of is a bad name because The card you're drawing is maybe better.
Well, yeah, but this is that card.
Yeah.
And also every other
The
card.
angel on the shoulder of each mortal is only a reflection of the divine will meant to help them serve their lord. Wow.
Oh.
Scuttlemutt. 4 mana, 3/2 black zombie wizard. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a creature they control.
Yeah. That's like a braid. Yeah, but 4 mana was like, it's F. Yeah, F.
Really? Yeah, I think you're probably right. Like, it's very strong. If you have something that you can sack, then you can sack other things. But even if you don't, it's like, it's that like ETB, everyone sacks something, and I choose the thing that I just played to sack, and those cards totally get play. But yeah, in F, right? But I don't know. Like, the fact that you're doing it last maybe has relevance. I don't know. It continues to go every turn if you don't sacrifice this, if you sack like a token or something.
Yeah.
But it is 4 mana.
Yeah.
You still think it's F?
I think it's F, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with consensus there. They're sure dead right about now. Eldrazi is a 5 mana red sorcery. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Each player draws a card and loses 1 life for each creature they control.
Oh, if this is cheaper, it would be really good.
So first of all, how do you interpret this? Is this each player draws a card and loses 1 life for each creature they control?
Yeah. The effect is multiplied by each creature they control.
Or is it draws a card and loses 1 life for each creature?
I think both are in the multiplied.
You think both?
Sure.
Both effects are per creature. Yeah, I think so too,
Yeah.
but I'm not entirely sure. I like this card. It's super weird. The fact that it's like, if you have the mana left, you can draw a bunch of cards and then win the game. If you don't, you can maybe kill your opponent. It's stupid. It's so dumb.
Yeah, but the fact it's like an F and you need, and like it could be like it's symmetrical and like
this is a quirky card.
Symmetrical means it's an F. Sorry, just to be clear.
Yeah. I think this is a quirky card.
I like the black card Rakdos art.
Yeah, this is a quirky card. It'd be interesting if it existed. It probably wouldn't exist, but not because it's too powerful.
Yeah.
You don't need my approval. I'm not your ruler. Actually, I do kind of wonder. Do you think there's like an infinite combo with this? Like, not like can you OTK off this? Probably, right?
Maybe.
You give your opponent a bunch of creatures. You then cast like.
I don't know if there's a way to give your opponent infinite creatures. But that'd be fun if there was.
There are ways, but like.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's enough hoops to jump through that it is a jank card.
I think it's a fun card. It's not a good card.
This would be an against the odds card.
Yeah.
Right? This is like a cool, interesting jank card that's not actually good enough. We need J tier.
I'm Saffron Olive. Here today with Eldrazi.
Yeah, Eldrazi. Cavalier of Night's Reach is a 3 mana 2/3 green elf scout. For 3 mana, target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. For 3 mana, create a 1/1 green snake creature token with Death Touch. So,
enough. Its abilities are too expensive.
Its abilities are expensive. It's repeatable token creation, which is cool. We saw at lower values this effect or a similar effect in D. And I think that's right.
If this was 2 mana, it'd be a big. It's a big upside.
Yeah,
and I would put it into D. But I think it's.
I think that's right. The fact that you can give something hexproof is cool, but like, there are other cards that do that cheaper for this. I think.
Yeah.
I think there are. There's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
She turns the best of nights into dawn's rising sun. We're seeing some higher ratings in the chat, but I think I'm happy with F. Honestly, I think I could see this. And you'd be like, "Oh, that's cool." Yeah. The Death Touch is very good.
The thing is, like, I don't know, like 3 mana activated ability versus 2 mana activated ability. There's a huge gap there.
Huge gap, yeah. But it is like a good mana sink. What I like about this card a lot, actually, that I forgot about till just now, is you can leave mana up to give something hexproof. And then if you don't need it, you spend it and make a 1/1, right?
Like, or use it when they attack, and so you threaten this so you don't attack. Yeah,
but it's a cool thing because you're leaving mana up for
interaction. That actually kind of makes me like want to put in D because it's like
Oftentimes you leave mana up for interaction, you can't do anything with it, and this card is both a reason to leave mana up and a mana sink.
Okay, chat has convinced me. I'm gonna put it to D.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm also convincing myself.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got a multicolor card. Golden Knight
heck yeah.
is a 3 mana, 3/2
golden.
red and white elemental knight. For haste, it has haste. As long as you control a Sphinx or a knight, such as itself, creatures you control have first strike and haste. So it's a 3 mana, 3/2 that gives all of your creatures first strike and haste.
Solid C.
Solid C. Ooh, interesting. I like how confident you're getting with your picks.
Thank you.
This card's busted, but
it's real good. You could get dumber.
Yeah. A part of a foe's identity is its weaponry, and the more that are brought into the light, the greater the honor of its master. Whirler Virtuoso. Whirler Virtuoso is a 2 mana, 1/1 blue merfolk wizard. Blue. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. We've seen this effect before.
I wish we had like 1 mana pump more often. It's pretty cool.
I like it. It's nice. You can move it to someone else instead of itself, or it can protect itself if someone tries to like lightning bolt it or something. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
We're getting D's from the chat. Ooh.
I'm in agreement, I think. Yeah, it's like this feels like so cheap and it can like if you like you can come in and use this ability multiple times, probably. So it's like Yeah,
no, I can see that. That's a good point, right? If you're just
I would also like to ask, how many have we done so far? Because it's getting to 6 and I'm feeling kind of fading a little bit. We don't have a ton more than have we done to finish the whole thing, but if we do have a ton more, then like maybe we should do a part 2.
We've about third left, but I think that we could probably do a part 2. I don't think that's too few left for a part 2 to be boring or anything.
Yeah. We probably don't want to go over because like then we are committed to doing the whole thing.
Yeah. Whirler Virtuoso, we saw this. Yes, we're putting in D. That's what we agreed. You will always be near to me. I will always be near to you, Urza.
Wow.
They said that to a Whirler Virtuoso once. So I guess that brings to the end of today. Interesting.
Yeah, which I've had a good time.
I had a great time. This was super fun.
This was a lovely time. Thanks for inviting me over.
Thank you for coming. I'm so glad. I don't know when we'll have time to do the rest of these, unfortunately, is sort of the annoying part. Let's just do a quick overview of what we had. We've got a single Unplayably Overpowered card in Molten Devil, a 3 mana.
I wish we had a cooler one,
which went forever.
Yeah.
We've got, how many is this? 7 B tier cards: Toxic Deluge, Hand of Replication, Hidden Terrain, Secret Doorkeeper, Selesnya Sky Knight, Spined Thallid, and Messenger of the Court. And we have 12 C tier, which I'm not going to go through all of them. Thank you everyone for joining. It's been great having you in the chat. I will try my best to communicate with you again when we're going live next time, once we have that scheduled. We don't have it scheduled yet. No idea when it's going to be. Thanks, everyone. If you are new, although I think most of you have seen my videos on YouTube, but if you haven't, or this is your first video on YouTube once this video goes up, we do this all the time. Not this tier list thing, but we generate cards, we talk about them using Urza's AI. If you haven't checked out Urza's AI, it's urzas.ai. And you can check that out. They have a Discord. You can find it on their website. Yeah. Have a good day, everyone. We'll catch you next time.
Right. I get like kind of like I've seen like kind of ChatGPT magic cards, and it's like that ChatGPT gives me like fight or flight responses, which maybe is like kind of arbitrary that Urza's AI doesn't. But like I don't know.
I think a big thing is that like ChatGPT is like a big old company. at this point,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of huge and scary. And this is like some guy did a thing for fun. You can go onto the Discord and talk to Nick. If you want to be like, "Hey Nick, what's up?" You can just go talk to him. He's just a guy. Like that makes it a lot more approachable.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of thing is like I think like I think it's like kind of worth like kind of talking about how don't take these as like, oh, yeah, it's gonna raise all your magic cards and it'll be great. No, that's like not gonna
This is just
happen
fun.
probably. This is like a fun, like I like AI as fun tool. AI as like, oh, this is the actual feature. It makes me like nervous because like I feel like people are gonna force it. I don't know. Yeah, that's thoughts.
It's a whole thing. It's definitely a whole thing.